Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
ThaBoxingvoice.com. All the guys want, I want what Mayweather got. I want what Mayweather got. You didn't bust your ass like Mayweather. I was trying to fight every fighter. I sacrificed a lot
Gennady Golovkin production
to get to where I got to.
What do you bring to the table?
Let's get this on. Let's do it. Well, it's like this. Wait.
All right, that's it. Hold on. Bernard, everybody calm down.
Man, you know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all. I sacrificed a lot. ThaBoxingvoice.com to get to where I got to. Boxing.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio hashtag TBV podcast. We are back and live. Remember that number 14255695241. Press one time if you want to voice your opinion here on the Voice of the People hotline. Today's subjects. It's Thursdays, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a big schedule, man, and not too many big fights to discuss, not just yet, but some big headlines out there. Oscar De La Hoya, the promoter of Saul Canelo Alvarez, well, he's asking Floyd Mayweather to step up to the plate and fight the winner of Gennady Golovkin, Saul Canelo Alvarez. Now, we're going to just give you this topic to talk about. Obviously, it's a hot button topic, and really we want to ask you, should Floyd stay retired, and should Oscar stop trying to use that Floyd Mayweather name, or do we take this as a serious challenge to Floyd Money Mayweather Jr.? Also, it looks like the Gennady Golovkin and the Saul Canelo Alvarez fans have decided per Golden Boy poll where they would like this fight to take place between the two. Canelo and Triple G, it's been, said that the fight is going to happen in the AT&T T-Mobile Arena in Dallas, or the T-Mobile in Vegas, or Madison Square Garden. But according to Golden Boy's poll, the fans have decided that they want it in Texas. How about you? Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury back in the headlines. Tyson Fury being kind of, what do you want to call this one? Maybe chin-checked in the manner because, most recently he's had a lot of choice words for Anthony Joshua on how good Joshua is not. But a 2010 article with Tyson Fury right after a heated sparring session between he and Anthony Joshua proves otherwise. Stick around for those details for sure. And the Hipster's favorite pick, and Robert Easter Jr., Mr. Trouble himself, the Bunny team. He's been one of my prospects to watch for a very long time. And now he is starting to finally shine and get the attention and recognition that he deserves. He's back with another hometown fight versus a Hipster favorite in Denis Shackakov, who the Hipster feels either lost or was in a tight fight with Comey not too long ago, whatever, but those are all the details. Listen, we got also headlines that we have to discuss that didn't quite make the cut. So let's head on out to the Golden State to talk to that Hipster, right? And talk some boxing.
Gennady Golovkin production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rock into a knock out now. When the main thing is, I just help the guy. I wish.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yes, the Hipster's here. Haters beware. I know there's some topics that maybe not everyone knows about, maybe not everyone is very thrilled about, but unfortunately, these are the topics we have. It's not big fight week, but can't wait to get into it, chop it up with everyone.
For sure, brother. It is time to talk some boxing, man. Me and the Hipster holding down the fort manning it the way that it's supposed to be, right? So first topic obviously is Oscar De La Hoya and his choice words for Floyd Mayweather. De La Hoya says that Mayweather should fight Canelo, Triple G winner. Oscar De La Hoya calls out Floyd Mayweather to fight the winner of Canelo, Triple G, instead of Conor McGregor, which he's still talking about. And I think today some sort of MMA news came out with Dana White about this whole McGregor-Floyd thing. And my thing is this: as a boxing fan, I say we take a stand. If you don't stand for anything, you fall for anything, right? So you got to stand for something. So let's stand for, if Mayweather comes back to the entertainment business, which is the squared circle, let it not be a cage. Let it not be a circus. You know, him fighting the winner of Triple G and Canelo is a good fight. He's already fought Canelo. Maybe he could make Canelo fight at 155 this time. Canelo's been there before. And Triple G, well, he's just going to have to do what he's got to do if he is the winner on that said night. I mean, look, I mean, I'm definitely on the opposite side of all this. I believe Mayweather is retired and should stay retired, you know. But if he's going to come back, right, instead of hearing things about him coming back to fight McGregor, I think we might as well see him versus, I mean, look, how many people didn't want him versus Triple G in the past? And I know this is a bad fight for him. You know, 160 is not a division where you want to have the money man. But again, his name, his marquee value, he's the A side. The Hipster, you know a thing or two about being the A side, and Floyd can dictate. He can make Gennady and or Canelo get to 154 if he wanted to. And with the fact that Canelo Alvarez and Julio Cesar Chavez, and I'm using air quotes for those not watching us on YouTube, and if you are on YouTube, you might as well hit that thumbs up button. Let me and the Hipster know that you are enjoying this show, and we're going to continue to come back and bring you this, you know, but I'm using those air quotes, Matt, and if Canelo did do 1 million buys with Chavez, Lord knows what he's going to do with Triple G, and that might just entice one Mayweather money. I mean, money is what brings him out, and money is what we will be talking if he takes on the winner.
My name is Floyd. My name is Floyd. My name is Money Mayweather.
Not to sound like a hater, but I mean, like, it isn't happening. Like, Oscar's been throwing out Floyd's name for years. Oscar is the ultimate, like, axe to grind ex-girlfriend, okay, that got slighted by, you know, the prom king or whatever, as Floyd Mayweather. That's what it's been for years and years and years, ever since he lost to Mayweather. He's always used his name to promote him and his fighters. And I'll be honest, Floyd Mayweather's not going to take a hard fight ever again. That's why he's entertaining a Conor McGregor fight, because it's one, super easy. He's going to dominate and probably get a knockout. And two, it's going to make a lot of money. He can't get those two guarantees against Canelo and Triple G. So he's never going to take those fights. Let's be real. And why would he take a fight against Canelo, especially if Canelo beats Triple G and he looks impressive doing so? There's no way Floyd's going to take that rematch against the much bigger guy in Canelo, who's improved drastically since their first fight. He's already beat him once. He has no reason to.
I don't know, Hipster. You sound like you don't understand the way of boxing. You sound like you don't understand the amount of money. I'm trying to let you know the amount of money that we would be discussing. Yes, Canelo probably got better in Floyd's eyes and in the public's eyes, but Floyd still holds the win, and he still is the clear A side. So if he can dictate the weight, and only if he can dictate the weight, we do have a fight. But we don't have to stick on that. I mean, unless you have some final thoughts, we could definitely move on to topic number 2, which still, you know, has both Gennady and Canelo all up in there.
Very quick final thoughts is that I do agree that fights, especially with Canelo, if Canelo beats Triple G, that equals a lot of money. But there's one thing that Floyd has always valued more than money, and that's that O. He's always valued that O next to that 49. He's always wanted that. And I think he will never give that O up for this risky of a fight, especially a rematch for the guy he's already beat. I just don't see it. And I don't see he's ever going to give Triple G the fight because he's never seemed like he's wanting to. He's at least fought Canelo, so that's more of that. It's a stretch, but it's reasonable to think that maybe there is a rematch one day. Plus, with the money that Canelo brings, but still, that's too big of a risk.
Again, the poor hipster, wrong again. How is it a risk for Floyd to fight Canelo, a guy that he beat, when Canelo moved up to 164.5? Then he's going to fight Gennady at 160 and obviously take some sort of punishment there. And if, again, he can dictate weight to Canelo, who now just was able to let his body become a 160-pounder, would now have to suck down to a Mayweather weight. I don't know what you're talking about. Even with Gennady in the picture, same thing. If Mayweather gets him to suck down, there's always that possibility. And these are the reasons that these fights normally take place like this, catchweights. But like I said, let's talk about the real stuff. And I don't know if the producer wants to get us the actual factual numbers on the Golden Boy poll for the Gennady. I keep saying Gennady first. Is he the A side?
No.
Saul Canelo Alvarez. For the Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin fight. We know that it's happening September 17th. We know this for a fact. Now, what we're waiting on is location. We know that the location in Madison Square Garden is booked for some sort of concert, but that doesn't mean that they can't pay those guys to get the heck out of that date. Now, we know that the poll on Golden Boys.
And very quickly, the poll garnered 43% of the vote went to the Cowboy Stadium. 33% went to T-Mobile Arena in Vegas.
33%.
And there's a couple other ones that were very little, like 14% went to MSG, and then 10% went to LA. Wow.
I like that. All right. Listen, Vegas, I'm not with that. What was the numbers on Vegas?
33, I believe.
And Dallas, what was it? Dallas or Houston? What are we going?
Dallas is AT&T Stadium. That's where that is.
And how much?
43%.
43. Well, that sounds about right. What do you think, Texas? How do you like that? I mean, you want to get up under that sun? Is it very hot in September?
I would assume so, just because Texas is usually hot in general. But I want to go to a 70,000 plus seat stadium and see a fight.
Is it retractable? I mean, that's a football stadium, so I don't know anything about it.
Yes, the roof is retractable.
So
and it has the biggest jumbotron in the world, I believe.
So we would be outside.
Yes, but no, there's a retractable roof, so it could be inside.
So the good thing about this for us TBV fans is that when we have our TBV appreciation night based around the Saul Canelo Alvarez Triple G fight, we would probably all go to the fight because it's going to be in a stadium. The tickets will be priced for the public. These are some of the main gripes that I have with the Mayweather-Pacquiao type fights, with these super fights. When we get a super fight, it should be like Anthony Joshua in front of 90,000 fans, because the fans are what move this sport. The sport is thriving because of us. So if it's in Texas, it's a home run, grand slam, knock out the park just for boxing. We win as fans. We'll probably all be in, somewhere in the bleachers, but it will be 50 to 100 of us, and we will be happy and we will enjoy it because we're amongst our friends, like minds, and we'll enjoy it. But if this happens in Vegas, it's not going to be in Vegas. We won't be able to afford the tickets. Some of us obviously will, but some of us will not. So it will be a lot of, closed circuit, movie theater, thing like that. And if they go to Vegas, we're still having an appreciation night, and we'll do our own TBV closed circuit as well. And we'll have the appreciation night the night before, and probably like a fight party the day of. Who knows? But, again, if we want the fans to win, we need to have this in a stadium. We need our version of Anthony Joshua and
Klitschko.
Klitschko, bro. Oh shit! Shout out to Andre Diakono. There's some new thing here on YouTube where you can like post. You seen that?
Live donate.
Yeah, you can live chat, donate, like, and no, but his comment stays pinned. I think that's amazing. It says, "Please, no Vegas, large stadium experience for real." And look, it stays at the top. That's dope.
And Dre is one of the best guys around. You know, shout out to
Andre Diakono. Anyway, he's always been a supporter. He received the pound for pound supporter award in the TBV Appreciation in New York. That is dope. How it just stays there. Oh wow, it stays only for a matter of time. Look, it's got a timer on it. That's insane. Okay,
you're like blown away by this.
I am blown away. YouTube is always stepping it up. Look, they gave us the
overlay back, and you.
Hey, watch it with the words. We don't want the cue the sound bite.
Which one? Oh, okay, I got it.
We don't want the fucking haters trying to figure things out. There's a lot of I said this phrase the last time. How's the phrase this time? I said it wrong the last time about the imitators, duplicates, whatever the shit is. I don't know. You know, I always
like that Jay-Z line.
Is it a Jay-Z line?
I thought that was a Jay-Z line.
I don't know.
Could be wrong. I don't want to quote Hove. You know.
I'm pretty sure you're about wrong.
I could be. I could be.
I don't know why. So
very quickly, I want to address this point because I really haven't talked about it. It needs to be in Dallas. Like, and for all the points that you say, it for the fans, because we all know with this level of fight, if it's in Vegas, I can't afford the ticket. I mean, maybe Enrique, you know, Casueezy could, but like most of us on the panel can't. You know, it's like I don't want it to be in Vegas. I want Vegas to die for boxing. That place needs to be gone and stripped from the memory of boxing, because that place is intertwined with the sport becoming so much more about the money. And if this fight is in a 70,000, 100,000 seat stadium and it fills that number, I mean, we haven't done that level of fight in the U.S. since like the Jack Dempsey era in the 20s. So I say the boxing sport, the fans, the fighters, everyone deserves this fight to be in Texas, to be in Dallas, to be at AT&T Stadium. And if it's not, I may be the first one to light a pitchfork and let's go, because that's fucking bullshit. Fans deserve better.
Nah, we definitely lose if we don't get this fight in a stadium, bro. I mean, we should be allowed to enjoy this one amongst our friends, families, and not have to worry about missing the mortgage or car payment. You know what I'm saying? It should be a gift back to the boxing fans. And I believe that they can do it. Canelo has done it. Triple G hasn't fought in Texas yet, but how many times has he gone to Texas and been over there doing photo ops with the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones, I believe his name is, and Canelo as well, right? So like Canelo did tickets as low as $10 at one time. How many did he get? 40, 50,000?
It was like 45,000, to be honest. I could be wrong.
I think you are wrong. I'm pretty sure they were using the 50,000 number. But if you're right, you're right. You know, the point is they'd sell way more than 50 if they went ahead and did this in a stadium. Triple G's basically Mexican. Canelo's Mexican. This is a Mexican style, you know? Let's put it in Texas, because Las Vegas, that's not Mexican.
Guys, you need show, you need amazing show, just call me. I'm staying here. I'm ready for everybody.
So, I don't know. You ain't got any final thoughts on that one before we switch out to some UK topics?
No, I say we go to the UK topics.
You want to give everybody the quotes since you're the magical producer? I mean,
I don't have them out right now. I can
really. Oh, call them. Drop the ball.
I'm trying to get that other producer who hasn't been on in fucking forever on.
Oh, blame it on the rain.
Yeah. I'm blaming on little Stevie.
So, an interesting article was released on Wednesday, May 10th, very early in the morning. And it had some very interesting quotes about Tyson Fury and his opinion of Anthony Joshua. And not Anthony Joshua now, but Anthony Joshua then when they sparred back in 2010. And Tyson Fury, obviously in the media, and anyone that follows him on Twitter or listening to him in interviews will tell you that Anthony Joshua is an easy fight for him. But Tyson Fury wasn't saying that back in 2010, and he's quoted by I believe it's the BBC, but I'll get you the actual particulars. I'm waiting on Matt to catch up with me, but I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Starting with Fury's quote, he said, "I thought to myself, I'm going to take it easy because he's only an amateur, and he probably won't spar again if I go mad." Fury told the BBC in 2010. This is what he told him about Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua went to visit him to, spar with him as he was getting ready for the London Olympics, right? So Fury goes on to say, "He rushed out at me and he threw a 1-2, a left hook, and then bash. He hit me with a big right uppercut on the chin." Sounds familiar, Matty Matt? Yeah, because he did that to Vladimir Klitschko. And I quote, he said, if I'd had a bit of a weak chin like David Price, I'd have been knocked out for a month. For a month. He didn't say knocked out. He said for a month. So obviously he's admitting that Anthony Joshua has tremendous amount of power because he's saying a month, not just going to sleep. He says, and I quote, "He came out at me for 3 rounds and gave me a beating. I'm not going to deny it. He gave me hell for leather for 3 rounds. I thought, oh my God, an amateur is killing me. But I slowed him down with a few body shots." I mean, and I go on to quote, "For a kid that's only 20, for him to put up a performance like that against a top prospect, him in me, I think he's one for the future." So that opinion has quickly changed for whatever reason, guys. But can we now believe him that he no longer is impressed with Anthony Joshua? If he could be that impressed that he goes on to say, and I quote again, "For a kid that's only 20, for him to put up a performance like that against himself, I think he's one for the future." And now look at where he's at in the future. I mean, 19 fights in and he's just beat Vladimir Klitschko. His resume starts to look so much better after that win with Vladimir Klitschko. Guys, I mean, but before we even go to guys, right? Let's get to the long lost soldier of the bunch, Steven Calderon. What's going on?
There'll be nothing but smooth sailing.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You will all be happy to know that I finished the last of my final presentations. I have a couple essays to turn in, due in a couple weeks, but in terms of presenting, your boy's done. I done did it. I passed them all. My last one was on the history of boxing, and guess who fucking nailed it, bro? Like new fucking, like a hammer and nail to the board, like putting up a house. I built a house with as well as I nailed it. Thank you very much.
Congrats, Stevie. Congrats.
Thank you very much, Mad Matt. It's very, I feel very proud of myself. Anyways, in terms of Ness, your question of can we take these latest statements from Mr. Fury serious, considering what he has said in the past? I think we all know what the truth is, man. Like, he's really just saying this just because he's trying to big up a fight. I think he wants a fight. I think he's betting on the fact that we're going to go back and look at those old statements and say, well, you said this, you said that. And when you ask him about it, he'll brush it off, and he's going to use it as promotion. Fury is as good of a promoter, I think, as Floyd Mayweather.
Matt, your thoughts on the statements of one Tyson Fury? I mean, he basically said he gave him hell for leather for 3 rounds.
Like, I'll put it this way. You know, we've often heard of sparring stories such as Adrian Broner, Earl Spence. When we have the guy that was getting beat up, he's always going to downplay it a little bit. I'm willing to go a little bit step further and think that Tyson Fury was probably knocked down in that sparring session. That he was probably really hurt. So I don't know. And as the resident Joshua fan in the panel, I'm going to go that this proves that Joshua was the best heavyweight in the world, obviously. And he's going to beat Tyson Fury. He's going to beat Deontay Wilder. It's proof. Come on.
Well, let's get on out to another one of your favorite topics. Robert Easter Jr., the Bunny Team. He's back. He's going to be taking on Denis Shafikov. I'm not really excited about this fight. I'm going to actually pull up this guy's resume and see who's in his division and see, wasn't there a better fight? I mean, I know that he's getting this hometown fight, and I like that Al Heyman and Adrian Broner, we got to give him credit. He is the one that signed this guy. He is an About Billions fighter. So I'll give Broner his credit for bringing him into the game. But I'm not really enjoying this Shafikov guy. Like, we got to admit, I started to give Robert Easter credit a long time ago, but after his win over Algenis Mendes, we had to start to take note. Hardcore hipsters like Matt, they gave him credit on the Comey fight. And, Louis Cruz, that was a hometown give me. But he also beat Angel Mendoza, but, Miguel Angel Mendoza, but pretty much anybody coming up, if you're supposed to be the good, you get past him. I'm just saying, in this division, was there a sexier name for Easter to face, especially in a double hometown fight? Because didn't he just fight Louis Cruz in Toledo?
Yes, he did.
I mean, you got guys like Lainez, Garcia, who's Heyman friendly. Garcia is Flanagan. Obviously, that's Heyman friendly because that's Box Nation, which is Frank Warren, which obviously does business with TMT and Heyman, right? Luke Campbell. I don't know if that's any sexier than Denis Shafikov. Is it? He's probably he's definitely ranked higher. Is that? But that won't be a sexy hometown fight. That's not a sexy American fight. That's probably, Easter going to get his name known in the UK type of thing. Comey rematch. I'm not really ready for that. Mickey Bay. I would have took that. Is he still a notable name, or am I just too much of a hardcore that I remember Mickey Bay? But look,
or too much of a casual.
Well, hey, check this out. Mickey Bay, when's the last time that he fought? And he's probably got a better resume than Denis Shafikov, probably ranked above Denis Shafikov in pretty much everybody's rankings, to be honest with you. Robertson Castellano, even though it's too late because he just had that fight with Gamboa, and no one expected him to do what he did to Gamboa, but he definitely improves his stock. Raymond Beltran also has a fight. Verdejo, he's in talks with Flanagan, allegedly. Corolla just lost to Linares. Fortuna beat Douglas. Sounds sexy enough. Easter Fortuna sounds sexy.
You can. I'll put it this way. I wouldn't argue against you or anyone else saying that Easter versus Fortuna is a sexier fight. I won't argue against that. But I will say that Robert Easter Jr. versus Denis Shafikov is a much better fight. Denis Shafikov, for what everyone is seeming to forget, beat Richard Comey in a much more clean, efficient fashion than Robert Easter Jr. did. Even though it was shied away from every casual and even hardcores because it was in Russia in some small theater with some dancing girls in between rounds it was weird. But Denis Shafikov is the real deal. He is a top 10 at least lightweight.
Hey Matt, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I remember seeing clips of that because I couldn't find obviously there's no way I was gonna be able to find a clear video of that fight. But from what I saw and from what I've read, that fight was really close. What are you talking about? From what it was looking like, it didn't.
Wasn't Richard Comey, Denis Shafikov close as well?
No, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Robert Easter. That was also a very close fight. And there was no challenge in that fight. Both guys were hurt.
But I definitely wouldn't say that Shafikov clearly got the better.
Dan Shafikov was never hurt in that fight. Dan Shafikov has the best chin at lightweight right now.
I would say that he would certainly be the toughest physical competitor that Robert Easter has been with since I started watching Easter. I didn't see I didn't see the first 14 fights of Robert Easter. I'll tell you that.
Shafikov is a technically skilled Provodnikov, to use that stereotype. He is a much more technically sound Ruslan Provodnikov. And
so are you saying he's like a Lucas Matisse? Because isn't that Lucas Matisse?
Yeah, that's a fair comparison. I think he fights a little bit different than Lucas Matisse. Matisse fights a little bit longer, in my opinion, than a Dan Shafikov and a Ruslan Provodnikov. But Dan Shafikov has a very well technically skilled jab.
I think the best thing that Shafikov has going. Shafikov has two things good going for him. Three if you include his chin. But it's the fact that he's southpaw, so he tends to give guys lots of trouble with his angles because he is a power puncher, and he is tough as hell. He'll take all your punches. I guess that counts into the chin. But from what I saw, he looked really slow in his fight. Who did he beat? Jamal Herring? Jamal Herring, right? That's who he beat? And that's like his big latest win.
And to me, he also beat Francis Bartholomew. And everyone seems to forget that fight, and it was on PBC. But he argued.
That reminds me. That reminds me. Hey, Ness, you asked about who Mickey Bay, when was his last fight? It was a loss to Francis Bartholomew in a split decision back in June 2016. And I'll have you know that BoxRec has Mickey Bay ranked 7 in the world in his division, where
fuck BoxRec. They had Tony Bellew ranked top 3. They had Tony Bellew ranked top 3 at heavyweight.
I'm just telling you where they're ranked.
Ignore BoxRec rankings.
I'm just telling you where they're ranked. And right now, Shafikov is ranked 8. He's literally 1 spot behind Mickey Bay on the BoxRec rankings. And I'm looking up right now on the IBF rankings, and I don't think you're gonna like what you hear, Matt.
Well, what am I gonna hear?
All right, so. Right now, the IBF rankings go like this. Oh, wait, Matt. You will like it. My bad. Jorge Linares is ranked. He's not ranked because he's in WBA. Obviously, Mikey's not ranked because he's WBC. Terry Flanders is not ranked WBO. But number 1 is Dennis Shafikov. And Mickey Bay is, holy crap, he's not even in their top 15.
Exactly. You know why?
Well, that's the IBF. They drop you as soon as you
why? You know why? Because he sucks. He's washed. No, he doesn't suck.
You can't say that he's washed. He lost against Miguel Vasquez. A lot of people will lose to Miguel Vasquez. He beat Miguel Vasquez.
But where the hell is Miguel Vasquez right now? He's gone in the wind.
I agree with you there, but Luke came bad against Miguel.
Last time he's fought.
It was probably that fight against Mickey Bay. I don't like the Shafikov fight as much as I would like a Mickey Bay fight because I think.
I don't like the Mickey Bay fight. I like the Fortuna fight.
I like the Mickey Bay fight because Mickey Bay is a faster, slicker fighter. It's a different fighter. Robert Easter Jr. himself.
140? Isn't Mickey Bay fighting at 140 now?
I think he probably is. I mean, his Francis Bartholomew fight was, so he's probably. Wait. No, he's all at 135. His last 5 fights have been at 135. Okay. Mickey Bay. All of his fights have been at 135. So there you go. Mickey Bay is still a lightweight fighter, and I would prefer to see Mickey Bay just because of the different tools that he has. I don't need to see Robert Easter Jr. beat another tough, come forward, throwing wide-ass hooks guy like a Shafikov. What does that prove? Like, we've seen him beat Comet, who is a similar style fighter, against a different type of fighter, a trickier type of fighter, like a Mickey Bay, even like a Fortuna.
Steve, sorry to interrupt you. Let me bring in Tom Lothar, the promoter of Gennady Golovkin. Tom, are you there?
I'm with you, Ness.
All right, perfect. Just want to go ahead and introduce you. Obviously, guys, we have the promoter of K2 Promotions, Gennady Golovkin. We might as well call him the Miracle Man himself because he's been able to get Gennady Golovkin his mandatory signed, sealed, and delivered. Finally, I mean, so many guys have been evading him that he was able to collect that WBC without actually fighting. But the list went from, I believe, Felix Sturm and Dom. Then you had guys like, Cotto and Martinez, Canelo. Tom, how'd we get here? It feels like even though it was not good for Gennady Golovkin and his fans, and maybe even yourself, for us to wait this long, it feels like it's the right time with Canelo and Chavez doing 1 million, quote unquote, I'm using air quotes, quote unquote, 1 million pay-per-views. It seems like Gennady and Canelo are only set to do way better than that. I don't even want to guesstimate, but we've had a call-in show where people are saying at least 1.5. How do you feel, and where are you with all this?
You know, Nestor, it was such a relief once we were able to finalize the deal and actually announce it last Saturday. I mean, even Gennady, once the deal was signed, he still didn't believe it was going to happen until he actually got in the ring, spoke to Canelo, and you know, all the HBO guys in the ring, and he finally realized that this is actually happening. I mean, it's taken so long, as you mentioned, to get one of the big names in the ring with him. I've never worked with a champion who's had multiple titles where you're begging for guys to fight him and offering the titles, and they just won't engage in negotiations. But we got to give Oscar and Golden Boy and Canelo credit. They told me the whole time that it would happen September 2017. Naturally, we would have liked it, or Gennady especially would have liked it last year when WBC mandated the fight. But as you said, I think it's an even bigger fight right now. This is what Oscar said last year, is that he wanted to build it up after Gennady sold out the O2 Arena in England and sold out MSG again against Danny Jacobs. It seems like now is the perfect timing, and even though it seems like it took a long time, it was September 2012 was his HBO debut, but now he's with a lot of hard work, a lot of knockouts, and a lot of sold-out arenas, he's finally here, and it's the biggest fight that can be made in the sport of boxing.
Hey, Tom, it's Matt, one of the hosts on the show. Thank you for coming on. First off, we really appreciate it for taking your time out of your day. But very quickly, when the fight was announced, when Triple G was walked out after Canelo Chavez was done, it seemed like to us it was signed, sealed, delivered, contracts were signed. But now with the location not being determined, it's kind of unclear to us if there's contracts actually signed. So are there contracts actually signed right now?
The agreement is definitely done with us and Golden Boy. It actually was just signed a couple days before the Chavez fight, so everything that was planned that night really came together at the last minute. And like I said, Gennady still didn't believe it. You know, when I told him we need to fly up to the fight, because he said he'll never go to another Canelo fight unless we have a signed deal, or unless he's fighting him. So, you know, it took a lot of convincing to get him up there. And he did. You know, everything has been agreed to, and as far as the venues are concerned, it's just a matter of us going through the different offers. I mean, that's the beauty of a promotion like this, is that we've gotten so many inquiries. You know, whether it's you know, naturally T-Mobile would like to have the fight up there again. Jerry Jones at the AT&T Stadium would love to have a fight. MSG, you know, where Gennady's fought 5 times. They would love to have the fight. Dodger Stadium, you know, threw their hat in the ring yesterday. They're very interested. The Superdome in New Orleans, they're interested. So it's just there's so many different venues. That doesn't affect the deal itself. Everything has been agreed to, and it's a co-promotion. So we just have to go through the different offers, and we'll make the decision together with Golden Boy to see where it makes the most sense, and hopefully, you know, it'll, you know, the reaction that we got ever since we announced the fight on Saturday, it's been amazing, and I think this will be a really fun promotion to work on.
Wow, I did not know New Orleans. That sounds interesting. I'd never been. I was over here beating the drum for Texas. I felt like, man, Texas could facilitate the true boxing fan, whereas Las Vegas, those ticket prices are going to be pricey. The fan, which really wants to view this one, will be left out. But Texas sounds like a spot. But now you're saying New Orleans. I mean, that's a That's amazing. When do you guys plan on having a location settled upon?
You know, the nice thing is there's no big rush on it because the fight's not until December. But I would say in the next few weeks, you know, just going through all the different offers, and you know, naturally the driving force is going to be the revenue that can be generated by the event. But you know, as you referred to, you know, there's going to be other factors involved too. I'm a big advocate for as many. Nestor, you know, I always try to fill the arenas with the Triple G fights, and after coming back from London at the Klitschko fight with Anthony Joshua, 90,000 people at Wembley Stadium. I mean, I would love to do one of these big stadium shows and allowing, you know, as many fans as possible to watch it live. You know, get that live atmosphere. So, you know, we'll see. You know, it's hard to beat Vegas with their, you know, everything that they offer, but when you look at the overall package and the marketing and, you know, everything else that a venue can do to support the fight, that's what we'll have to go through and pick the best location, not only for the fight itself, but I think also for the fans.
Is there a location that you personally prefer over others?
It's hard to beat AT&T Stadium with the Cowboys with that big screen. And
that's what I want.
Support. It's hard to beat. It's hard to beat that one. But like I said, I know T-Mobile and the folks at the MGM and the AG are very interested in hosting the fight as well. But you know, we'll have to go through and see and just see what makes the most sense. Everyone's kind of cleared their calendars for that September 16th date. So we're luckily we have you know, many options to go through, and we'll try to pick the best one that makes the most sense.
Hey Tom, this is Steve Calvin. I'm one of the producers on the show. So you talked about your excitement for the promotion for this fight. Seems like you guys already started the night of that Chavez Jr. fight. So was it planned in advance that you guys were going to walk Triple G out, or did you guys tap him on the shoulder, tell him to walk backstage? That seemed really like you guys were really planning on that outcome of Canelo.
Well, we were hoping on it. You know, naturally, you can never tell how a fight's going to go. I mean, Chavez Jr. was a lot bigger than Canelo, and you know, we had a feeling with the weight and everything that Canelo would just be the stronger guy and faster, and that's kind of how it played out. But you never know. I mean, if Canelo had broken his hand or his thumb like he did in the Liam Smith fight, you know, if there was you know, any injuries or if Chavez won, then naturally there's no way we could have made the announcement that night. You know, as far as this promotion is concerned, luckily that you know, it went the way it did, and we were able to do it. And the fan reaction was tremendous. They've never really seen something like that. It was really kind of a tribute to WWE with Gennady walking in with his walkout music and the videos, and you know, it was a pretty great way to kick off the announcement of the promotion.
Tom, I wanted to ask how much of that was your involvement in K2, because we obviously seen that with K2 over and over with all the entrances of Vladimir Klitschko, and most recently we seen it in the Anthony Joshua. Those are some things that we come accustomed to from the UK and Germany for sure, and it worked for us. I mean, our immediate reaction show, everyone that called into the show, you know, that was the highlight, or if not the climax of their night. Like, they were upset. It was like, man, this was a giant promo, but I'm happy that we got the fight. Everyone was happy that we got the fight. I think that the video worked, but how much of that was you know, K2, or was this a Golden Boy idea?
You know, I really got to give Golden Boy a lot of credit. It was their event. You know, they were the promoters of Canelo Chavez, and they were the ones that came up with the idea. And actually, we embraced it, and we thought it was a great idea, and we certainly you know, thought it was the right way to do it. If everything went the right way, naturally, like I said, if Canelo would have lost or gotten injured, then that whole thing would have been scrapped. But you know, he won and is clean and fresh and ready to go. So I don't think it could have been. I don't think it could have played out any better, especially for this particular promotion.
Usually, Roman Gonzalez and Alexander Usyk have been on the undercards of Triple G fights recently. Is there any plan to have them on undercard of this fight?
With Chocolatito, I've been talking to HBO, and looks like he'll get his own date in the fall. He's been in some of the toughest fights on HBO and provided some great ratings, especially highlighting the lower weight class, super flyweight division. So he'll have his own HBO date, the way it looks right now. And then as far as this show with Triple G and Canelo, let's go through with Golden Boy and see what's the best undercard and the best supporting fights that we can put together. I always am a firm believer of investing in the undercard and putting together, quality fights. Not only naturally the main event is a spectacular matchup of the two most marketable boxers, or two of the most marketable boxers out there, but I think we need to give the fans value for their money, and that's what sit down with Oscar and Eric Gomez and see what we can come up with.
So, Tom, obviously after the video started to play and Kellerman said, "Who's next?" and Canelo says, "Triple G, you are next," with his nice broken English, which I definitely loved because I loved it. Let me tell you why. Because when the face-off with Chavez and Canelo was happening, and I see Chavez speaking English, I gave Chavez more credit. I immediately said, look, there's a guy that wants to win over the American public. He's learning their language. He's pushing himself. So, with Canelo saying, Triple G, you're next, I was definitely impressed. But as the video played, he took it a step further and he said, "Triple G, where are you?" I mean, you had to be impressed. Come on, Tom. For so long, everyone thought he was afraid of Triple G, and here this guy is egging Triple G on, inviting him in with this huge jumbotron. I mean, I'm really excited for this fight, man.
I mean, it's definitely two warriors. Unlike some fights in the past that haven't really delivered as far as a style matchup or boxers being cautious in the ring. I mean, these guys are going to go for broke. Triple G doesn't go backwards. In a fight, he's a nonstop pressure, and Canelo is a very similar style, very aggressive, big puncher. So I think the matchup of these two warriors, I think it's going to be a tremendous night for boxing and for the fans.
Hey, Tom, so I got to say, when I saw the face-off, that was my first time seeing them face off face-to-face in person like that. And I was a bit surprised, I'm sure a lot of other fans were, as to how much bigger Triple G was than Canelo. I was under the impression that Canelo had grown into a full middleweight, but you could tell the size difference. And I remember back when Mayweather fought Pacquiao, Mayweather had mentioned, I don't know if Pacquiao ever realized the difference in size between us. Did Triple G tell you anything after the face-off, something maybe hinting like, hey, he's a lot smaller than me, or the size difference is definitely going to work in my favor?
He's not really that much smaller. He's about an inch shorter, but Canelo's definitely more stocky than Triple G. They've sparred before. When Gennady first came over to the U.S. and was in Big Bear and able set up the sparring where I think Canelo was getting he was getting ready for one of his fights. So center, from that, and there were some photos of them together in the gym, and Gennady's definitely about an inch taller, but Canelo has got that stocky body with the thick legs, and that's where he gets a lot of his power from. So he fought very effectively at 164.5, and we expect him at 160 to be a full-fledged middleweight, and I really think that he was really, what should I say, just going down to 155, 154. I think you didn't see his full power or as strong as he could be now at 160 pounds. the full middleweight division, you'll see a much stronger, certainly a much more mature and experienced Canelo than you saw against Floyd. So, he's the way he dominated. You can't really take much away from Chavez, even though he probably was trained from the weight. I mean, for Canelo to dominate him, every single round for 12 rounds, I mean, that's not the easiest thing to do. And with the knockouts that he's had last year, I think Canelo's really, come into his own, and certainly the prime of his career.
There was reports coming out a few weeks ago, Triple G, or after the Triple G Jacobs fight, that Triple G was hurt. One, what was wrong with him? What sort of injury was he dealing with? And two, is he doing better? Is he feeling better? Is he, has that impeded any sort of negotiations or training yet?
He didn't have any injuries in that fight. It was a 12-round competitive fight. Both guys, were throwing big punches in the ring with Danny Jacobs. So, Danny had sunglasses on at the press conference afterwards, and, both guys, took some punishment. So he didn't have an injury. It just, it would have been way too quick of a turnaround. Originally we were talking about maybe fighting in June in Kazakhstan, but he would have literally had to go into training camp again 2 weeks after the fight with Danny. And it wouldn't have been possible to do that turnaround. And it just made the deal a little bit easier to close. Once I told Golden Boy that, he's not going to fight in June, just from a timing standpoint from the training, then that really sped up the deal in terms of just closing it, because they really wanted to announce the fight. If we were able to close it, they wanted to announce it in May, and HBO was pushing to get it done as quickly as possible. So that kind of that allowed us to finalize it a lot quicker for the May announcement.
Tom, I don't want to take much more of your time. My last question is, were you surprised that Canelo did not stop Chavez? And do you believe the notion that he carried Chavez and didn't go for the stoppage because he was putting on a big drama show?
I don't know. It just, look, Sergio Martinez put on a great fight against Chavez, and he couldn't stop him. And at the time, Sergio was considered, clearly the best middleweight at that time. So I think Chavez trained very hard for the fight, even if he wasn't, as effective as I'm sure he would have liked to have been. Still, it showed a lot of heart and grit, and he lasted in 12 rounds, even though Canelo dominated him. Sometimes the guys that are in good shape, they're hard to put away. I know Gennady wanted to, even though he dropped Danny, I'm sure he would have liked to have a knockout. He couldn't get a knockout, so I don't really see that as a negative with Canelo. Plus Chavez, if you talk about someone being bigger, I think Chavez was probably like 3 or 4 inches taller than Canelo. And once he was able to rehydrate, you could see he was just physically a much bigger and probably a pretty durable guy. So we don't read into that. I mean, I think the takeaway there is just how much faster Canelo was, and the angles he was giving him, and the combinations he was throwing. So that's given a lot of respect for the type of victory that he had.
Well, Tom, thank you, obviously, for giving the Boxing Voice this opportunity to interview you. Obviously, you're a hot commodity right now, you and your star fighter, Triple G. We appreciate you taking the time out and coming to chit-chat with us. We're crossing our fingers and hoping for Texas with you, man. We really want Texas. No beaches over there, but definitely a lot of space to accommodate, adoring boxing fans.
It's all good, Ness. Always good to be on the show, and appreciate your support. And look forward to doing a great promotional tour and putting on a great show in September 16th.
How many cities do you think you guys are going to do in terms of press tour?
In which cities, if you might have any in mind?
I'll give you a hint, is that it'll be an international tour. I mean, this fight is that big. It's really a worldwide event. So, we're looking at an international tour, but, the cities haven't been finalized. Naturally, LA and New York are definitely on the list. If it does go to Texas, we will definitely stop there. Could be Mexico City, could be over in Europe, a stop. But once we start fine tuning the schedules and the locations and things like that, then we'll announce it. Probably the press tour will be sometime in June, and so we'll have plenty of lead time to announce where the stops are going to be, and we're going to try to make that also as fan friendly as possible. So even if someone can't go to a fight, but if the guys are coming to their city, the fans at least have an opportunity to see them, together and live, and want to make the press tour as fan friendly as possible as well.
Well, Tom, thanks again, man. I really appreciate it. If you want to give your social media for any of these guys that want to follow, if not, just appreciate the time as always.
I appreciate that, Ness. It's pretty active on Twitter is the main social media, just at Tom Loeffler1. And we'll have fight announcements, different things. Sometimes if there's a publicity event, we'll have it for the first fans that show up, or if there's a pre-sale of the tickets. So usually I'm pretty good at making those announcements on Twitter. So that's where you can follow me. And like I said, we appreciate your support, Wes. I know you've been behind Triple G for a long time in his career, and always good to be on the show.
Oh, man, thank you so much. Always great to have such a great promoter. We've been trying to give you an award, guys. Now he's on the spot. We've been trying to give him an award for the last 3 appreciation nights. I don't know. We're definitely going to do one based around this Saul Canelo Alvarez and Triple G fight. So we'll see you there, Tom. Thanks again. You've been great. We got Stitch Duran coming up. Tom, thank you so much, and see you later.
Thanks, Ness. Stitch is my man. He was over in London with us. Vladimir's cut man. Stitch he's the best in the business, so we appreciate that. Thanks, Ness.
No problem. Thank you. All right, let's get over to the lovely Masterpiece on the producer side of things, guys. Help me out here, Steven. She's ready with Stitch Duran. We went from Tom Loeffler to Stitch Duran. Monster, are you there?
Yeah, she's not.
I am super excited. I'm here with Stitch Duran.
How you guys doing?
All right, Stitch. How are you?
Hello. Well, Zaki, man, I'm here with my agent, Adam Scherzer. We got a big meeting about 5:30, another 30 minutes from now. Some guys from New York. So, a ver qué pasa. I'll let you guys know as soon as I get the scoop, man.
Uh-oh. What kind of guys from New York? That was so vague, man. Fill us in just a little bit.
Serious.
Well, sure. That's what keeps it interesting, brother. So I got to find out. I get a lot of people that give me a lot of offers, and like I say, I listen to every one of them, and if one makes sense, then it makes dollars, man. But I'll let you know once I get some facts.
All right. Well, take us back, obviously, to what everyone is calling the best heavyweight fight in the last 20 years. We just had the promoter of Vladimir Klitschko on, Tom Loeffler, and you were also in that corner. I mean, how was that night for you amongst those 90,000 fans in that electric fight?
It's one of a kind, man. And it actually, my adrenaline's still running. I've been doing interview after interview, and because in all fairness, I had one of the best seats in the house. And to be there with Vladimir, and then he gets cut, and I have an important job to do to keep him in the game, and I think I did that. Took him all the way to the 11th round, but the cut was never a problem. So, but to be around 90,000 people was insane. And I was telling my man Adam right here that my hotel room at the Hilton, right across, I had a big old bay window, and right across the street was Wembley Stadium. So, talk about a mind-blowing experience that it was.
Hey, Stitch. It's on the show. We heard from Eddie Hearn that Vitaly Klitschko and Anthony Joshua sort of got into it after the fight with Vladimir. Was there any truth to that?
Well, I didn't see it, but I was talking to Jonathan Banks. Obviously, that was right in the mix, and but he said it was just the lack of communicating. I think Anthony Joshua went to congratulate him, the great fight and all that, and he started off with kind of like the F word, and that's the only thing that Vitaly picked up, so he kind of reacted on that. But I think, Johnson put an end to it. But it was just miscommunications, nothing else, So, yeah, I wasn't there. Damn, wish I would have been, though.
Hey, Stitch, this is Steven, one of the producers. So Cutman is a fine and underrated art form. When you saw that cut, first of all, what was your reaction to that cut, and what was the first tools that you grabbed to do your part in the corner and stop such massive bleedings and things like that? What are you allowed to use? How do you go about it?
My man, Steve, good question, brother. All right, I'm going to answer it this way, right? So I've worked on cuts, many cuts all the time, working in the UFC and mixed martial arts and, kickboxing. So cuts for me, I've worked, seen them all. Vladimir's cut was what you call a serious cut. It was from one side of the eyebrow to the other. And so here's what I did. I always prepare for worst case scenario. So I have my stuff ready. And as soon as I see, my whole face focuses on the face. And I see that he has blood is trying to trickle. So I tell JB, I said, I already got the swab that I use is adrenaline chloride 1/1000. That's comes from prescription, but it's a vessel constrictor. So you put that swab in the cut, and in theory, it closes up the blood vessels. And then if you notice, I have a little patch. It's called Quick Aid, and it's 100% seaweed, and that kind of dehydrates the blood. So that's what I used on Vladimir. But also psychologically, I went in there, and I'll kind of tell you a little behind-the-scenes story, Steve, since you asked such a good question. At the weigh-ins is when I first saw Vladimir, because my daughter got married in the island of Crete on Wednesday, and Thursday I flew to London, and I didn't see Vladimir to the dressing room. But I told him, I said, look, man, don't worry about nothing. I'm going to take care of you like you're my son, right? And that's a psychological aspect. That's what I bring to the table during that stage of the fight. But come fight time, before Michael Buffer does the introduction, I'm putting Vaseline on Vladimir for the final time in front of 90,000 people, and they're screaming. And Vladimir looks at me and says, "You can call me son." And I thought that was a very, very powerful statement, because he knew I was there to take care of him. And I kept him in the game, man, and turned out to be one of the greatest heavyweights fights ever.
Hey, so another follow-up question. So there are certain, depending on the state and maybe even sanctioning bodies, like there are certain things that are legal to use in the corner and certain things that obviously are not. Is that correct?
Right.
And so how do you go about looking up these kinds of things so you know that you're not getting your man in any trouble using certain tools in the corner?
Man, if you got to look it up, brother, you're in the wrong business. You should already know through experience, right? But in the UK, well, in the United States, there's 3 items that you can use now, including Quick Aid, which is 4. But the adrenaline chloride 1/1000, that's what we use in the swabs. That's a vessel constrictor. And there's 2 other products called Apatine and Thrombin, and those are coagulants. And but very, very few people use those nowadays. But in the UK, the only thing that's allowed is the adrenaline chloride 1/1000. And during the championship fight there, the doctor will literally give you a sealed bottle right before the fight. So yeah, but if you got to do some research, man, maybe you got to just be a reporter.
Stitch Duran, you mentioned very briefly the UFC and MMA. I got to ask, how you have sort of thought about post UFC career, because it has been some time since that whole situation happened. What do you think about when people talk about the UFC, when people bring up the UFC? Are you able to sort of divorce yourself from the situation and sort of look at it in a happy way, in a positive light?
Oh man, I'm doing fine, brother. And what's great with what happened with me and the UFC is I get so much love all over the world. Everywhere I go, somebody is telling me, "Hey man, proud of what you did, and you stood up for what was right and all that." And like today, Adam and I were at Mayweather's gym, and the guys are talking about the UFC and how it's really being diluted now, and they took the sport away. And Bellator is doing a great job, and I'm working with Bellator. The World Series of Fighting and Invicta, everybody but the UFC. So what they had at one time, they've kind of lost that foundation. And as a matter of fact, when Bellator did their Dynamite 2 show, I think this one top British journalist says, he says, doesn't Bellator remind you of the UFC the way it was 8 years ago? But the UFC in business, they did a tremendous job. Dana, Lorenzo, and Frank. So, you can't knock them on their success. Like, give me that much money in 15 years.
So, Stitch, obviously, you're in a rock and a hard place in your position, right? You're in this corner. There's 90,000 people. The last thing you want to do is wish a cut on your guy, but you also need to show that you're fucking Stitch Duran, the baddest cut man in the planet. So how does one, how do you go into that fight, right? And then when you got your opportunity, I mean, did you get nervous? Did you feel you were going to be immediately able to stop the bleeding, or, was there any fear? How is it? Because imagine, look, I mean, I can see 12 rounds in action and Duran gets no action. He doesn't need to stop a cut, but if things go wrong, the blame goes to you.
Right. No, 100% right, man. And I'm like an insurance policy, right? So if something happens, then my job is to make sure that, the fighter goes and he gets every opportunity to win a fight, right? If it doesn't happen, well, that's, the cost of doing business. But when Vladimir got cut, I was prepared, and I went in there, like I say, I've seen those kind of cuts before. So I know the applications that have to be done to that. But listen, I'm not going to lie to you. Going into the 9th and 10th round and it's not bleeding and it's such a serious cut, I'm kind of proud of myself, man, and to take it the whole distance. And I'm even thinking, damn, if Vladimir wins this fight, and then, it just puts another feather in my cap. But I think nonetheless, the fight was great enough to where people have acknowledged that, I went out there and I had an important part to do in the fight. As a matter of fact, at the Canelo Challenge fight over the weekend, Jim Lampley comes up to me and compliments me again that did a great job. And the whole media is talking about you. Dan Rafael sets up on his podcast or whatever, and all these people. And I've done interview after interview. So I think guys like you have noticed that, there is an importance in having a good cut.
Hey, Stitch. So talk about feathers in your hat, right? So you just added, like, what was it? Probably nomination for Best Cut Man on Screen award. We all saw you in Creed, and you really did kind of, it was like the torch was passed to you, because I remember seeing Rocky 1 when I was a kid, and I saw the cut man. I was like, oh, who's that guy? And I researched him. Al Silvani, he was like a legitimate boxing trainer. He brought a legitimate cornerman to that movie, which is what you did to that movie Creed. Did you know Al Silvani? Did you ever work with him, cross paths with him? And how was it working on that movie for you as being like one of the few real professionals there on screen?
Oh, it was unbelievable, man. I was at the WBC convention here in Las Vegas, and Jack Reese, the referee, comes up and says, "Hey, Stitch, they're trying to get a hold of you, for a movie. Do you mind if I give them your number?" So I said, "No, by all means, give them my number." And 5 minutes later, I get a phone call. But they wanted me to go in there and be a cut man. So, but the story I heard, the way it happened is Andre Ward, Ryan Coogler, which is a young director writer that wrote and directed Creed. Him and Andre were working together in Oakland, and he was talking about cut man. And Andre Ward says, "Hey, you got to bring Stitch in, right?" So they tracked me down, man, and to go over there, we had an understanding. And I told Ryan, I said, "Look, man, if I see anything that's not authentic into what we do, I'm gonna bring it up to your attention." And he said, "No, Stitch, that's why we brought you in here." And a little side note to this, man, is I'm reading the script. My name is Marcel, right? And man, every time I told somebody my name was Marcel in the movie, they started laughing. So I got to change that shit somehow, right? But when it was time for Rocky to introduce the team to Adonis in the gym, he refers to me as Stitch. Stitch, the best cut man in Philadelphia. And at that point, deep inside, I said, "Man, and who's going to tell Rocky? Cut. His name is Marcel. That didn't happen." And the next day, and the next day, I thanked him. I said about putting me out there. He says it has to be authentic, man. But I got to give Adam, my agent. He's the one that thought. In fact, on our trailers, it said Marcel, and Adam changed it and put Stitch and put the buzz in Stallone and Stitch it was, man. So I've been blessed.
That's good. I love that. That keeps the authenticity. They called Al Silvani. They gave him his real name back then, and you deserve at least that much respect coming into this one.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It was an honor, and I can't wait for the second one.
Stitch, I would say that you're without doubt the biggest cut man in the sport, in all of combat sports, boxing and MMA. But how did you get started in this? You know, what led you to become a cut man? You know, how long ago was it? How long did it take you to get to this spot in your career where you're the biggest name in the sport when it comes to what you do?
Well, you know, I started it literally in 19. I always wanted to learn the martial arts as I was a kid, you know, and I grew up as a farm worker in California, so didn't have a whole lot of money, and there's no martial arts schools. But I joined the Air Force, and I told myself if I ever went to the Orient, I'd study the martial arts, right? So they stationed me in Thailand in 1974 during the Vietnam War, and I see my first Muay Thai fight, and I get hooked on it. On base, they had Taekwondo for the GIs, and the Koreans left, and the Thais took over, and they transitioned us into the Muay Thai system and all that. So anyway, I got out, and I lived in Oakland, and I got into boxing and improved my hands, and from there I went and started training fighters, and then I opened up my own gym. It was called ASK, the American School of Kickboxing. I trained Javier Mendez, and I worked with Javier Mendez and a lot of the fighters from that era. And but I wanted to move to Vegas, man, to follow my dreams. I was good as a trainer, manager, and I, had to learn how to be a cut man because of economics, right? And I remember one time I was at a boxing event, and I asked this cut man, he did a good job on a cut, but I was trying to be a cut man, and if he could tell me what he did, and he says, hey, F you. He goes, I'm thinking this to my grave, and you got to learn just like me. See, that was the old style kind of cut man.
Wow.
On my own. Yeah, I learned on my own, man, and 21 years ago, I had my vision to move to Vegas and challenge the world of being a cut man. And when I got here, I started working right off the bat, and shit just happened, man. The UFC came around, and that kind of put me up to a different level. But nonetheless, you still had to perform, right? And I think I did all the above, and now I'm happy with what I've been doing.
Well, Stitch, I want to obviously thank you for coming on. If you want, can you give out any social media that you may have so that the listeners can follow you and definitely stay behind everything Stitch Duran? And obviously, once again, just thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here with you.
Oh, anytime, man. It's always my pleasure. And 15 minutes is always too short for me, brother. So next time we got to do a little bit longer. But yeah, listen, and also let me give myself a plug on my book. I have a couple books out, From the Fields to the Garden, and then From the Fields to the Garden 2, and it's the continuation of the first one because the first one did so well and people kept asking about it. So From the Fields to the Garden and the Fields to the Garden 2 is available at Amazon.com. And then I got my own line of tape now, the Stitch Premium tape, that's water repellent, and that's available at StitchDuran.com. But at Stitch Duran and hashtag Stitch Duran, and stay in touch, man. It was a pleasure talking to you guys.
Hey Stitch, before you go, I have a question really quickly. Do you think there's a possibility that we could have a cut girl in the future or a cut woman? I'm thinking of entering the business. What advice do you have for me?
Okay, well that's a good question, man. But here's what I tell everybody wants to be a cut man now. They see what I do, but they don't know I've been doing this for 30-something years. I get paramedics, nurses, EMTs, and all these people want to be a cut man. So here's what I tell them to do. You got to spend hours and days and weeks and months and years in the gym learning to be a fighter and working with the fighters, and then donating so much of your time wrapping hands, working corners, and then you progress up to being a cut man. But you can't do it overnight, Joe.
So you don't think, you do believe that we could have cut women, though, right?
Well, there's some out there, and
okay.
There's 2 or 3 of them that are real good,
All right.
And they're out there, but it's, once, and that's another thing is, you can teach somebody how to do it, but then you have to follow your own path and create your own clientele and all that, and the only way to do it is just to be in the trenches.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Duran, for coming.
So stick what you're doing, Anna. You'll be better at that.
And hey, Stitch, what was the name of that book again? The one that's on Amazon right now?
It's called From the Fields to the Garden, and then From the Fields to the Garden 2. And a real quick note to that, because I grew up as a farm worker, right? I'm the kind of guy Trump wants to send back. I picked peaches, tomato, cotton, apricots, cherries. If you ate it, I picked it, right? That's what I did all my life till I was 18, and that's why I joined the military. So that's the fills. And then the garden my goal was always to make it to Madison Square Garden. And I've been there. Matter of fact, I'm going to be there again June 24th for Bellator, a big show up there. So that's where the name of the book comes from.
Awesome.
And then also I'll be working with Andre Ward. He could be fighting Kovalov. So, got a busy schedule.
All right, Stitch. Well, thanks for coming on. Busy he is, brother, man. He's in all the big corners, Steven. Listen, we got to get out to our callers, and we're going to get to our sponsors.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Larry in San Francisco, 2 jam-packed interviews, a bunch of topics to talk about, brother. What's going on?
Hey, big ups to the Boxing Voice. Appreciate y'all as always. The interviews were hot. Monster, Steven, Matt, Ness, everybody. Thank y'all. Great job with that. Great guest. Yeah, I just want to continue to hype the fight that doesn't need any more hype, but can't wait till Triple G Canelo. And I would like to see that land in Dallas. I wonder how much less expensive it's going to be, because I'm sure they're going to make their money there too. But I definitely want to see it land there, and I want to see it be as big as possible and do as well as possible. But my main reason for calling is, hey, Matt, I actually won mad props for the question asking. That was a tough question you asked Stitch about the UFC, and you asked a tough question, and you did it in a way that was respectful. So great job with that. But
whatever, Larry.
I think Floyd will fight.
He wasn't supposed to bring up UFC anyway.
Hey! I asked in our personal chat. Can I ask some MMA questions? No one said no. No one said no. I'm just gonna say that.
Do that somewhere else, buddy. Larry, I'm gonna hijack you again because I need to ask you: is Triple G Canelo gonna finally get you to a TBV appreciation party or what?
Man, would love to do it. Definitely all depends on health. So we'll keep praying and see how that works out. But yeah, that's one of my dreams, to get out there and meet y'all and spend some time talking boxing. So definitely hope so. Hey, but real quick, I do disagree, man. I think Floyd will fight Canelo if he wins. I don't think he'll fight Triple G, but if Canelo wins this fight, they did $2.2 million the first time, and now Canelo's a bigger star, and Floyd does have that O still. So no, I don't think Floyd will pass that money up. I think he'll do it again, and it'll be the Cinco de Mayo fight next year.
Yo, and Larry,
but we'll see. I hope that is the case. Go ahead.
That's the hipster with his hate and sound bites. But let me tell you something, right? Not only that, right? Think about it. If Canelo could beat Triple G, like the amount of pay-per-views that a Canelo Mayweather fight might do are insane. It might get to that 5 million because people would actually give him a shot to beat Floyd. Just saying, there were people giving him a shot the first time.
Larry, you have to admit that a Canelo fight equals so much more risk than a Conor McGregor fight. Come on.
Conor McGregor wouldn't be as big. No. Conor McGregor won't.
It would do a 2 million plus pay-per-view buy rate easily.
Bro, yo, listen, it's over for that McGregor fight because Canelo took the date, and all Canelo has to do after he beats Triple G, if he beats Triple G, is call out Floyd. We both know, like Larry said, Floyd's not going to take a Triple G fight, but if Canelo could win, he calls him out, and he does it the same way he did Triple G. Floyd, where are you?
It's not happening.
You're a hater.
Why am I a hater?
Larry, go ahead, Larry. We jacked you. I'm sorry. We do this often.
No, it's all good. Y'all keep doing y'all thing, and I'm out.
All right, let's go out to the UK. David, talk to me.
Hey guys, yeah, great show. Very interesting interviews. I just wanted to add a little bit of the Tyson Fury story because you missed out probably the best bit. Basically, Tyson Fury was in London trying to find some decent sparring. Apparently, he was beating everyone up. So he offered anyone who could knock him down in sparring could have his Rolex. So Anthony Joshua, I think, heard about it, or maybe his trainer did, and said, "I'll have a bit of that." So obviously he's gone in there and obviously tried to take Tyson's head off, and obviously gave him the beating for 3 rounds. So yeah, that's kind of how it all came about, that sparring session.
But he didn't earn the Rolex, which means he didn't drop him.
He didn't drop him, no.
Ah, damn it.
That's odd too, because Steve Cunningham dropped Fury.
Yeah, but they had headgear on probably. You know, they were probably wearing like really big gloves, like
24 ounces. Like they don't even make 24 ounces, but they specially made it for them.
Easily.
Yeah.
So David,
the pillows we got to use when we spar, Matt.
Anything else on any other topics you want to touch on?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see Floyd Canelo again personally. If Floyd's still Floyd, he'll still beat Canelo, and if he's aged, then it's not really. Canelo hasn't really beaten the real Floyd for me, so I wouldn't want to see that fight.
I don't know, man. When's his last fight, bro? I don't think he's aged that much. That if Canelo and Floyd did it on Cinco de Mayo, I mean, would Floyd come back?
Floyd has already aged within his career. Come on, he's not peak Floyd anymore. The guy's like 37.
He's such a hater right now.
How am I a hater? He's not peak Floyd. That's not being a hater. That's being realistic.
Steven, I'm so happy to have you back. How many months has he literally been out the ring? We need
The Floyd that fought Maidon, the Floyd that fought Manny Pacquiao, that wasn't peak Floyd. The Floyd that fought Canelo wasn't peak Floyd. Come on, what do you guys?
What? Man, this guy's in his bag for real, David. What is he talking about? Floyd put on a clinic.
That was not peak Floyd, though. That was not the prime era of Floyd.
He doesn't need
I think that you can make an argument that Floyd, 5-10 years removed from his peak, is still 5 levels above most fighters, especially.
That's 100% true. But
even give me a month, Steven. How many months he's been out the ring? He's done this before. He's been out of the ring twice before for 18-month increments.
Get this. He's gonna be out of this. No, listen. He will be out of the ring for 24 months by June. By June, he would have been out of the ring for 2 years consecutively. No, excuse me, September. It's like 4 more months away. So right now he's at 20 months. He's 20 months in inactivity. 20 months.
But no, that's not going to affect a 38-year-old Floyd Mayweather. Come on. Father Time is the only person that has an O in this game.
Yeah, his last fight was against Andre Berto, as we all know, and that was in September 2015. Floyd, I believe, just turned 40.
David, let me get to some other callers. So what's the math on that, Steve? How many months has he been out?
As of right now, 20.
Damn, 20. That's more than ever. Right? Is that the longest layoff?
No, I believe the longest layoff was in between his fight with Ricky Hatton and Juan Manuel Marquez, because that fight was actually, you know what? It might have been about the same. I think that fight, January 2007, all the way up until September 2009. So
it's roughly the same amount of time.
Roughly the same amount of time. I remember those articles all saying like he was coming off of like a 21 month. It was 21 month layoff.
Just so you know, this is the difference between us and them. Like Sean Zettel, our Las Vegas correspondent, was in the gym of Floyd Mayweather yesterday and watched him spar yesterday. So I'm just saying, you know, when guys like Matt, they like to fucking hate because they don't understand the greats. They don't.
Why are you saying I'm hating? What am I hating, Ness?
They don't understand that great.
What am I hating?
They don't understand that. They don't understand that greats can take time off and come back and challenge themselves. That possibility is still
true. That can happen. He just doesn't do it.
All right. So then what's the problem? I don't understand.
But why am I hating? What am I hating against? Am I hating on Floyd Mayweather? How am I hating on Floyd Mayweather? He's one of the best fighters ever, best in the last 30 years. What am I hating on?
I don't know. You keep acting as if it's not possible at all.
I'm not saying it's not possible. This is just my opinion that it does not happen. I can totally see it being possible because of the money involved. But in my opinion, the risk of Canelo beating him.
Now you're talking realistically, but earlier you were talking that, oh, no way. Oh,
yeah, it's my opinion. Come on, it's opinion shit.
And then we got the facts. And the facts is he's right on target with the amount of time that he usually takes out of the ring before he comes back.
What facts do we have to back up that he's fighting Canelo again?
The facts are he's right on time with the time that he usually comes back. The facts are that we had a correspondent who's been with us for numerous years who we can trust and vouched that he witnessed Floyd sparring yesterday.
Those are facts, yes.
The facts are that a day ago, 2 days ago, he was running at like 2 a.m. with Gervonta Davis. So the man is staying in shape. You want to think that this is some overweight dude who—
I never said that. I never said he was overweight. I never said he stopped training.
McDonald's and chicken wings and shit.
I never said that.
No.
Never even once implied that.
No, he's staying in fight shape.
I never said he wasn't in fight shape or wasn't in shape.
He was either going to beat up your guy or he's going to come back and do $5 million versus the winner of Triple G Canelo. That's what I believe. I see it.
But let's add some more facts to it because you're throwing out facts. He's in negotiations with Conor McGregor in the UFC.
I mean,
that's another fact. He's not in negotiations with Oscar and Canelo.
I mean,
with Tom Loeffler and Triple G.
You got to build the fight.
Those are other facts, right? That you just haven't.
You got to build the fight. This is just a theory. We got to build the fight.
The fact is that Oscar has been throwing out Floyd Mayweather's name in headlines for what, a decade now. So why are we going to assume that this one's real?
To be fair, I think Floyd threw Oscar's name out there first, like 10 years ago.
That I understand that, Stevie,
Ooh.
But that's not what I'm.
No, why are you calling him Stevie? Yo, you're not allowed to.
Because he's threatened. Because that's what you do when you're threatened.
But he's not allowed to do that. You know, that's not even happening.
That's true. Me and Steven Calderon are not fighting. You know, so there's some other news that might be coming out shortly. That's all I'm gonna say.
Stitch called me his boy. Don't make me sick. Stitch on you.
Yeah. Listen, let's get out to these callers. Did I get to the sponsors and then you cut me off? Oh no, actually we went to the sponsors, then we went to a few callers. We got to David. Now we're going back out to the phone lines. We're going to Amin in Jersey. Talk to us.
What's good, fellas? What's good? Listen, I don't know, man. I don't. Floyd, you think Floyd would come out of retirement? That's big talk right there, man. To fight Canelo right now?
I'm just saying, listen, Canelo did $1 million. If all that is true and he did $1 million with Chavez, he's going to do 1.5 or more with Golovkin. The winner is what Oscar wants for Floyd to fight. But I don't believe that'll happen. If Triple G wins, why would Floyd fight him? But if Canelo wins, I think it makes sense. But even maybe, who knows? Maybe if Triple G wins, he comes out of this a super duper star, and it does make sense for Floyd. I don't know, but this is obviously theoretical. It's based off Oscar De La Hoya's quote, and it's really up to you. Is that something you would like to see is what we're asking.
You know something? I would definitely rather see Floyd come out and fight either Golovkin or Canelo again. Especially if Canelo beats Triple G, I would definitely love to see Floyd and Canelo again. I don't know who wouldn't want to see that fight. And if Triple G beats Canelo, why wouldn't we want to see him fight Triple G? This McGregor fight, throw that out the window. If Floyd got the opportunity to get back in the ring against either one of them guys, then that's definitely the fight to see. So, yeah, I definitely feel that.
Yo, so what did you think about the Tom Loeffler interview?
Oh, great interview. That was a great interview. I actually, you know what I'm saying? I'm just in the middle of cooking, fellas. The show was so good, man. I'm doing good listening tonight. Stitch interview, that was pretty good. The Loeffler interview, I didn't know Nestor and TBV. I didn't know you guys had that kind of relationship with him. And, you know, whenever the next joint is for this Canelo Golovkin fight, maybe he could come through and get an award. So let me know, fellas. Keep it moving. Appreciate the show. What's up?
I didn't have the heart to interrupt Loeffler and tell him that Ness only rode with Triple G after the Stevens fight.
Yo, man, let's try to keep it neutral, man. You gotta let him do his thing, man.
All right, peace out, Amin. And very quickly, I love Tom, and he's a very nice guy, very sweet guy. But he sort of let the cat out of the bag and admitted that the injury with Triple G that was reported, bullshit, right? Like they just threw that out there so that excuse so they can pull off the negotiations. He even said it made the negotiations easier.
A lot easier. Yeah, and I'll tell you the truth, I never liked
I don't think that's even a bad thing. I just think that it was bullshit. I don't think that's even a negative thing to say. It was just bullshit.
You can look at it two ways. One, that K2 Promotions let themselves kind of, in a sense, get bullied by an A-side fighter from Golden Boy Promotions. Or two, you look at it as K2 Promotions really just, swallowing their pride so they can make the fight that the fans want. And if you look at it that way, you kind of look at Tom Loeffler as a hero and probably like one of the main instruments in getting this fight signed and cleared away. This is going to be Triple G's second longest layoff. There's only one other time when he's gone 6 months without fighting, and that was after the Lemieux fight, going into the Dominic Wade fight. Now, going into Dominic Wade with a 6-month layoff, not that bad for someone like a Triple G. But going into Canelo Alvarez, who's a young fighter, who's used to fighting twice a year, who doesn't take a lot of punishment, not that Triple G does, but you consider, the fact that Triple G didn't look great and maybe a tune-up fight would have benefited him. You got to consider that if you're a Triple G fan, and maybe it does make you get a bit angry that he had to sit out and that, Loeffler kind of chose to go that route. But personally, as a fan of boxing, I think that it was the right move to do. There's nothing wrong with swallowing your pride to get the right fight done, and better doing that than take a couple tune-ups on each side of the spectrum. Because if you ask me, Canelo just had his.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. That yes, that the injury was bullshit in a sense, but we got the best fight out of boxing right now because of it. So it must have been a good move. Must have been.
History's not gonna remember the air quote.
100%.
History's gonna remember the amazing fight in September.
I think we're gonna go to the next caller.
Ooh,
but I don't want to go to him because he needs an intro. That's the thing, and I don't know where El Jefe is.
Look, let's not dwell on that. All right, let's go to the most logical caller to bring up right now. All right,
logical.
Yeah.
Georgie, I'm sorry we do not have your intro right now.
Yo, first of all, let me say, I don't play Showtime to see you all download even putting a goddamn motherfucking effort. If I want to see some motherfucker just fight, I pick up a fight with somebody in the street. Don't need that shit. You don't love that sport, my dude? Just move along. Gone. Fuck you. Next. What a great show. Thumbs up, donate.
Hey, yo, what's happening, people?
What's happening, Georgie?
Bro, I'm gonna let you guys use that. What's happening, people? Because you guys are family, but I got that shit trademarked.
I'll be using that till the day I die, Georgie.
Yo, what's going on with De La Hoya, bro? Did that nigga need some more cocaine from the last robbery? Talking about Mayweather. If that shit happening, not gonna happen until 2018. So what the fuck we doing hyping that shit this early? Can we wait at least until the fucking next fight with Triple G and Canelo? Yellow.
Was that a question? I didn't understand if there was a question there. It sounded like a statement.
Oh, it is a fucking fact. Why are we talking about Mayweather when Doggy, if they're gonna fight, they're not gonna fight until 2018?
We're talking about it because Oscar's talking about it. Now you can come on and say it's bullshit because that's what I said.
Bullshit. Fucking De La Hoya, I don't know, bro. That nigga doing too much cocaine. Somebody got to talk to his blog and tell that nigga to cut his shit because the nigga, I don't know, bro. Anyways, let's go to Triple G. Who on the panel got Canelo winning? Anybody?
I would say that
definitely not Enrique.
I think I want to pick Canelo. I think Triple G should be the favorite, deservedly so. But I might pick Canelo.
Not picking. If Georgie picking Canelo, I'm picking Triple G.
You know I'm picking Triple G, so stop in this. Don't even come here because you don't want none of these doggies.
You're serious?
Last time you
You're
beat me in
serious?
the bed.
All of a sudden, you're a Triple G fan now, huh?
Listen, last time you beat me in the bed, that wasn't not even my rookie year, doggy. That was the amateur. So you don't want none of these shit as a fucking
Doggy, just tell the
professional.
world that I beat you in the best bet, though. You had to shave your hair.
Ponytail.
I took your ponytail.
Ponytail.
Yo, I did what Angel Garcia wanted to do to Thurman, yo. We talking about?
Oh, yeah? Ask your co-host why I sent him to retirement. Where he at?
Who's your co-host?
Who's your co-host? You know what I'm talking about.
You know what that is.
Important question here. But yo, this is pretty much all I got. One love to everybody out there. Support.
Bye-bye.
Ooh, support. Don't.
Yo, guess what I just found in my fucking little blue book?
What?
You know, the book of picks. I got a page here that's called.
That we never use because he's never on the Sunday show.
That microphone, Steven. I'm gonna elbow drop Steven off the top turnbuckle.
Don't be doing that, man. I'm the one who asked. I'm the one who's got the blue book.
I'm gonna fucking hit him with the elbow in the middle of in the center of the noggin. Cause that.
Wait, is that better?
That one Passions of Christ drip down his fucking nose. Let's go to Santiago. Santiago, brother. I don't know. I can't even say what I want to say. I can't even say what I want to say just yet, Santiago, but just know that we're in sync, you and I. You, me, and Matt. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. And remember, man, W's are more than just for more than just West Sides. Matt will fill you in. Don't worry about it.
Santiago knows. Santiago knows what's up.
Okay, he knows what's up. That's right. It's fucking.
He knows what's up. We got a session after this. Don't worry about it.
Team America. That's right. Fucking Santiago's a beast. What's going on, Santiago? What's up, man?
Not much. Just listening to another Thursday edition of the Boxing Voice here. And, you know, it's some interesting topics to talk about. Obviously, one of the big ones was the fact that Oscar went about and said that Mayweather should fight the winner of Canelo GGG. And really, like, honestly, as far as I'm concerned, as I've always said it before, until something happens, this is all talk. And this one's even more unrealistic to me than anything else, simply because the one key point that I think Ness I pointed out too is the fact that if he can dictate the weight. The one thing that Canelo has always stated that he learned from the Mayweather fight is to never let the weight be something dictated. So I could definitely see that it's either 160 for him or no go. It's as simple as that. He's not going to let himself be weight trained again against Mayweather. They actually considered making the fight happen. And then obviously regarding the whole topic of Joshua, Tyson Fury and everything, yeah, you know, I could definitely see that it's a bunch of talk trying to hype up the fight and everything, you know. Obviously we have a lot of these sparring stories. I mean, we have one that you can easily use as you know, a storyline in Canelo and GGG. They sparred before they were there. Obviously they would probably bring this up too. And I could definitely see that Tyson Fury, if he's, you know, in his right mind and everything, he could probably sell it well. You know, hopefully that none of the cocaine and everything else that he did didn't fry a couple brain cells of his memory, but that's besides the point. And great interviews you guys had with Tom Loeffler and Stitch Duran, you know, and an incredible person to have on the show. You know, he's a legend in the game when it comes to being a cut man. So, you know, hopefully you guys continue to bring us these great content, you know, onto the show for us, the fans. And obviously regarding the site for the fight, you know, I would love to have it in Dallas. I think it's the best place to have it, even if I can't bring my friends to watch the fight. But it's the only place I can think of that would make sense. If a big fight deserves to be in a big stadium like that. As always, any questions you guys have regarding any of the topics at hand, feel free to ask. Otherwise, that's my call.
Hey, quick question. I'm not sure if you touched on it, but Floyd Mayweather, longest layoff. Do you think it affects him at this stage of his Can't even say career.
Wait a minute. I thought you said this wasn't the longest layoff. I thought you said it was right on track.
That's if he fights.
If he fought next month, it would be right on track. But if he agreed to have a fight, it wouldn't be for like another 6 months.
My name is Floyd. My name is Floyd. My name is Money Mayweather.
That's all that matters. Get that money right.
Nah, at this point, if he were to choose to fight anybody, anytime other than next month, it would be his longest layoff. So my question to Santiago is, how do you think it affects him at this age?
You know, as much as Ness is probably thinking, you know, he's a great, this is what separates us, you know, us from them. Remember that a lot of people bet that Muhammad Ali, when he came out of retirement, would beat Larry Holmes. And we saw what happened to Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time.
True.
You cannot conceive that the same couldn't happen to Floyd Money Mayweather. TVE, the best ever, the best of our generation.
Nah, man.
I would argue that Muhammad Ali sustained much more punishment throughout his career than Floyd Mayweather did.
Absolutely, Santiago, but you've been wonderful. Listen, absolutely, the amount of punishment is not even, you can't even argue that. Listen, Linda.
You guys are ridiculous.
Why are we ridiculous? I don't know.
Because you guys think that there's no way in hell that 2-year layoff at his age, at the end of his career, doesn't affect him.
But
I think it affects him. I think it affects him. I think it affects him. You're full of shit. I think it affects him. I'm saying that despite it affecting him, he would still be better than most.
Well, let me ask you something. Wait a minute. You thought that the 2-year layoff for Vladimir Klitschko was going to affect him, and he put up the best performance of his life.
And he still lost, and he still got knocked out.
That was not the best performance of his life. The best performance was against Pulev. Let's be real.
You can still say it's the best performance of his life, but he still got knocked out and lost.
Man,
that's why the Pulev fight is the real one.
Callers. That's what they're there for. We're going to go out to Donald in Richmond.
I'm sorry. We're going to have to put Donald from Richmond on hold for just a second because I told you, man, Lil Miss Monsterpiece is trying to get on. Monster, you are live. Don't say I didn't do you no favors.
He ain't do you no favors.
I'm a motherfucking monster.
Things run smoothly when
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, Monster.
Things run smoothly when Steven's here. You see that, Monster Piece, how fast you got on there?
Oh, my God, he's amazing. Hi, Matt. Good evening, guys. Steven, thank you. Great interview today. Great talk with Tom Laughlin. Great talk with Duran. Hopefully we'll have those guys soon. I'm excited to talk about Floyd. I'm not going to say much. I'm not even going to go into details. Honestly, I really think Floyd should just stay retired. He needs to, just stay retired. He's good. He got money. He needs to tell, every time they call him out, he needs to just say, get your mind right, baby. Get your shit together. You're going to be hot a little while. I'm going to be rich forever. That's what I need to tell him, a.k.a. Kanye West, a.k.a. Susan, a.k.a. Chris Brown. Listen to that song. It's a good one. Anyways. No, I think he needs to stay retired. He's so rich, and he's always going to be a name. He's such a huge, he's one of those people that really just created his own legacy. And nobody can repeat what he did, and nobody has ever done what he did. So I think he should just stay retired and tell them that, he's going to be rich forever, so who cares? In regards to that question that you asked Tom Lawfer about a location of where we should have the fight, honestly, I think it should be in Dallas. I would love it for it to be in Dallas, but I don't know. I want to make it a vacation out of it, but New Orleans sounds great, man. I don't know about you, but that shit sounds dope as fuck.
Dallas got great barbecue. Dallas got great barbecue.
And other places. They have really good other places too, if you know what I mean.
Guys, question: do you really think I can make a good cut woman?
Other places, wink, wink. Monster, before you start working
the cut,
before you start asking to be a cut woman, you heard what Duran said. Get your ass in the gym and start learning something. You trying to jump to a cut woman.
Yeah, do you hear Duran? Duran said the first time he asked somebody to give him advice on being a cut man, they told him, fuck you. Like, you're gonna have to deal with some shit. I believe you could do it though, because I feel like you would persevere through that, maybe make you stronger for it. But that's a lot of work.
He said he had
That is a lot of work.
He said he had to do everything before he worked his way up to being a cut man. So you got to get.
Are you one of those people that faints at the sight of blood? Because I feel like that could hinder your performance.
What? That gets what, Stephen? What was that?
I said, are you one of those people that faints at the sight of blood? Because I feel like that would hinder your performance.
Man, I'm a woman. You really think we have no choice but to look at blood?
Oh! I didn't realize I was opening up that fucking Pandora's box.
I'm keeping it real. No, that'll be great. What else was the topic today? Floyd needs to stay retired, man. He's good. He got too much money. You know, he's gonna be hot always. I think he should just stay retired. I don't know about you guys, but anyways, I think that's all. That's my call for tonight. Unless you guys have any questions, I'm gonna call Santiago right now. Feel free to ask. If not, I think that'll be it.
Yeah, I got a question. I do have a question.
Well, then go ahead.
You said you don't mind Dallas, but you want to make a vacation. New Orleans sounds like it's good. Are you saying that you're going to travel? Because, the truth of the matter is you just experienced your first live fight was Berto Porter, right?
Hell yeah.
So
proud of myself.
So that fight is now making you travel to either Texas or New Orleans. You're willing? You guys are willing? You and your boyfriend? I mean, or are you just saying you want it there for the atmosphere?
I think I would want to travel. I'm gonna be honest though, guys. Me and my boyfriend are gonna be parents. We just got a cat.
A cat.
Yo, the microphones just jumped off of my ear when you said that.
Guess what our cat name is?
Say that, Monster. You can't start a sentence like that.
What you said?
You cannot start a sentence like that. I bet you called your parents and started a sentence like that.
Yo, how about she answer the question? Are you traveling or not? You going with all this cat stuff?
Well, since we now we have a cat, so we just we spend a lot of money on that and all that kind of stuff and getting it. So I don't know how loyal I'm gonna be to that answer, but I'm gonna tell you what. There's at least an 80% chance that I will travel to Dallas for that fight. And I think that's the case with a lot of people now, but I'm sure that 80% is going to turn into 100 when it's like a month and all the press and all the commotion is going to start happening. That 80% or 70% or whatever that is going to turn into 100 real quick. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up going. I'm going to be broke for 6 months. Me and my boyfriend are probably going to eat peanuts until our next paycheck, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna travel to that.
We needed to push the issue.
I mean, if it's in New York, it's better.
We needed to push the issue to Tom that he needed to get an announcement. I mean, June is not bad for a September fight. If we could get an announcement on location by June, and then we can book our flights and stuff, it'll make travel simpler. But we needed to push that because again, the real fans are gonna go out to this one. But Monster, always a pleasure. Thank you for the hard work getting Stitch Duran on the show today.
Good night, guys.
We're gonna get.
I work hard.
Oh, come on! You can't say goodnight and then come back with a tagline.
Honey. I work hard for it, honey.
Bye, Monster.
And then she said she didn't. When I asked her, I said, "Monster, you think we should have karaoke in New York?" She said no, but here she is singing on a podcast. And when I meant TBV Appreciation Night.
Very quickly, I just want to add two topics to the show, just because I was planning on addressing them at the top of the show, but we forgot because of the interview. That Tom Laughlin interview came out of nowhere, so it threw off the show. Artur Beterbiev is in a lawsuit right now against his promoter, Yavin Mitchell. God knows. Whatever. My bad. I may butcher this next name I'm going to say. Don't worry about it. So hopefully that gets addressed just as quickly as possible because Artur Beterbiev is one of the best prospects in boxing right now. So this is
He was.
Oh, that's harsh. Vijor Singh, I believe is his name. He's a prospect out of India, and I believe he is half British as well. He was signed with Frank Warren and another promoter. He has terminated his deal with Frank Warren, effective immediately. So hopefully that great prospect out of the super middleweight division signs with another promoter and gets some exposure either in the UK or the US. So a little bit of a hipster news topics for you guys out there.
Denied.
Yo, Ness, what's the further step past hipster? Because like those topics, that's not even hipster. That's like, I don't know. That's like trash digging.
Trash digging.
You don't think the Artur Beterbiev news is somewhat big, at least for the light heavyweight division?
Not really.
I retract my last statement. Artur Beterbiev is definitely relevant because I myself am curious as to where he's at. Artur Beterbiev, I'll give you the pass, but the other kid, like, he's got to do something for me to care.
He's a really good prospect. Just saying, keep an eye out.
Are we really gonna say that Yvonne Michelle is fucking up Beterbiev's career?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not saying that at all.
He's got Al Haymon
Beterbiev is saying
anyway. So
Beterbiev is saying that. We don't know that.
Beterbiev ain't saying shit. He don't speak English, and neither one of you motherfuckers speak Beterbiev. Let me get to Fight Doc, man. You know, they sit around here acting like they no. Denied.
No, wait. Oh.
Don't even respect your ass. That's why it's time for the doctor to check your ass, nigga.
Yo, Fight Doctor in the house on Rick James status as always. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's up, Fight Doctor?
Hey,
Fight Doctor, real quick, I want to let you know, in my little blue book here, I got early picks on Canelo Triple G. You picked Canelo months ago against Triple G. Has your opinion changed since?
Ooh, hold them down to
No, it
that,
hasn't.
Steven.
No, it hasn't. I still like Alvarez in that fight, and here's the reason why. Go by that last couple of fights, okay? Alvarez clearly is on the upswing, okay? His pendulum is swinging up.
Versus who, Fight Doc?
Hand,
versus who? Versus the mummy of Christmas Past of Chavez? Or is it Liam Nobody Smith? I mean, or is it Amir? He gave his soul to God when he got knocked out Khan. I mean, come on, bro. Let's be for real. Upswing.
Listen, okay, look, listen.
I mean, no, because I got to be a little bit hard on you. I got to be a little bit hard on you when you give so much criticism to Triple G and his resume. And I mean, those last few bit of Canelo opponents do not sound sexy. They moved the needle for sure, but they did not do anything for the hardcore fan.
Look, I give you that. I'm not here trying to defend Alvarez's recent opposition, okay? It is what it is. I'm just speaking the simple, plain facts, okay? If you look at his last couple of fights, his last 3 fights, Alvarez is clearly on the upswing, okay? Now, we look at Golovkin on the other hand, look at his last 2-3 fights. You can make an argument that he lost his last fight. You can also make an argument that he was losing rounds in the previous fight to a welterweight. So clearly, Golovkin is on the downswing.
Excuse me, Fight Doctor,
okay?
But wasn't Khan winning rounds versus Canelo, who is a welterweight?
Yeah, he was. Okay? Yeah, he was. No question. Yeah, but I saw Khan. Look, Khan, listen, at the end of the day, Khan is a good, look, Khan knows how to box, okay? Khan knows how to box. When that fight was contested at 155 pounds, okay? So essentially, it was Amir Khan coming up one weight class, as opposed to Golovkin, on the other hand, being a natural middleweight, dragging up a welterweight. So there's a difference there, okay? There's a difference. However, you still have the spectacle of the Jacobs fight that looms over Golovkin. I'm sorry, that looms over the triple duck like a dark cloud. Okay.
I didn't call him triple duck. He's what are you fucking talking about, Fight Doctor?
Who's he ducking?
Yeah, who's he ducking? That was like one of the most stupid statements I've ever heard in my life.
He ducked. He ducked Andre Ward. Okay.
Are we really gonna bring up something that happened 8 years ago that you cannot prove? That none of us can prove. It's conjecture.
Yeah.
It's argument.
Wait.
How can you say? And you know it, Fight Doctor. It's hearsay.
164 pounds.
If we went in front of a judge and he had to review the case, it's hearsay. It's one side against the other, and it's all just their word against the other.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, no. This is all out on the internet where you can see it for yourself.
On the internet, yes.
What
is it?
K2. Listen, this is.
Explain to me. What evidence do you have that he ducked Ward?
I'll give it to you if you just give me a second, please. Okay? Now, it's public. Look, it's a matter of public record that Rock Nation approached K2 about an Andre Ward Golovkin matchup, and K2's response was 164 pounds. Now, for Chavez, they won at 168. For Rough Rights, 168. For Hopkins, 168. But for Ward, it had to be 164 pounds. That, my friend, is called a duck.
That's not called duck. That's called negotiating.
Swim.
That is called negotiating. That is called
negotiating. You're fighting the better opponent. You negotiate
with Chavez.
Everything in your favor. Hold on, Fight Doctor. I let you burn. Let me talk. Let me address your points. That's how this goes. That's how a debate goes. I let you talk, then I talk. Right?
I'm listening.
So if that was the initial starting point of 164, was there anything after that? Did they come back and say, no, it had to be 168? And that was the end of it? There wasn't a 166 for negotiation?
Here's my question.
All I hear is initial numbers, and then both sides deciding it's not going to work out.
Now, all right, now, I would answer you. Give me a second. Now, I answered that by saying this. Why was the initial starting point for the Crutch fight and for the Chavez Jr. fight 168?
Because those are easier fights.
For Ward, has to be 168.
Those are easier fights. That's why. It's that simple.
No, yeah, of course they're easier fights. Hence the reason why I say
that's not a duck.
Ducked Andre Ward.
That's not a duck. That's negotiation.
Like everyone else in the universe knows.
That's negotiation.
Yeah,
Same thing Floyd did to Canelo.
Then why don't you call Canelo Duck Nello? Because he vacated a belt. Why are you so hateful of Triple G and not Canelo? Canelo did arguably worse things. He did more egregious ducking, in my opinion. But you don't want to talk about his resume. You don't want to talk about him pulling welterweights up to 155. You don't want to talk about that. I wonder why.
Who has Alvarez ducked?
Triple G. Really? You really want to fucking talk about this? He ducked him for 2.5 years.
He ducked Triple G. Aren't they fighting in September?
But he ducked him for 2 years. He ducked him for 2 years, and you know this.
Okay.
You waited for Triple G to look older, and you know it. You know it.
Smell the French.
Oh man, Fight Doctor.
Yeah,
we love you around here. That's why we let you burn, brother. We're gonna go ahead and get to some other callers though. Let's get to some alumni. Yo, the Fight Doctor, he's funny. Steven. Shout out to Steven for having his pick. I wonder if he would have stuck to his guns had Steven not brought him up on that one.
If you would have not interrupted me before we started going back to callers, I'd have told you that in my little blue book, I found everybody's initial picks for Triple G Canelo. And I'm not going to say who I got picking who, because I'm going to start just calling out motherfuckers who swap like Ness and Maddie, and we're going to find out.
Ooh.
There'll be nothing but smooth sailing.
You know what time it is, Maddie.
Back to Donald from Richmond.
Donald, we got to Donald.
No, we didn't.
Donald, we got to Donald.
No, we didn't. We had to skip him, remember?
Donald.
Man, you see how y'all skip me like that? What happened?
I got you, Donald. Don't worry. I got you.
That's all good. Hey, so look, when I seen the headline, you know what the first thought that came to my mind? When he said Oscar calls out Floyd to fight the winner of Canelo and Triple G, I said, damn, Oscar is still sour for losing to Floyd, and he just has to see Floyd in a fight that he can't win. He wants to see Floyd lose that bad because he's still sour from his loss to Floyd. And also, just like what you guys said, I mean,
if Triple G goes out there and he beats Canelo, we all know Floyd won't fight no Triple G. But I could see it possible that he would fight Canelo again, depending on how much money is put out there. I mean, if the money is up there, I can see Floyd going out there to fight Canelo again, and I can also see him beating Canelo again. You know, but I don't think that Canelo will be able to beat Floyd. Although I think Canelo's a really great boxer, and he's got very good skills and stuff and all of that to go with it. But even right now at 40, he still couldn't beat Floyd. Floyd would school him again, and Canelo would just be like, "Damn, I thought I knew how to do it, but I didn't." You know. But hopefully that the fight with Triple G and Canelo, it turns out to be a really good fight, because I swear Chavez Jr. he owes me $69.99, and I'm not saying that I don't got nothing against Canelo. I'm saying that Chavez was the one who didn't really go out there and put a fight. He really shamed his father. You know, the type of career that his father had and how his father used to go out there and fight and got over 100 and some fights, that was just really shameful for him to go out there and do a performance like that. But, I'm hoping that I know you guys keep saying you guys hope that the fight goes to Texas, because I want to say it will probably, the goodest place to probably do it would be the same arena where Canelo fought Austin Trout at, if they did it in Texas. Is that the one you guys were talking about?
Man, whichever one could hold 100,000 people.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, I hope they do it in Vegas.
I think it's the one.
I don't think it's anything.
It's wherever, Donald, it should be the one where Pacquiao fought Joshua Clottey at.
Huh? Yeah, because if they do it in Vegas, I'm gonna definitely go. I don't know if I'm
Vegas is dead, Donald.
Texas.
What are you
gonna be able to afford it? What are you talking about? It's gonna be 10 times the price.
At camera.
Well, it's closer, and then I'm gonna be going to Texas in July, so then I don't think I'd be doing like a second trip to go back to Texas again in September. So that's why I'm saying Vegas. So but that's all I got. Y'all can get to the next caller.
All right. I don't know, man. Vegas it's not the party that it used to be. And like Matt said, I believe that it would be so overly priced. I mean, if Triple G tripled the price of his tickets for Daniel Jacobs, what are they going to be for Canelo, bro? It's going to be a Mayweather Pacquiao type of ticket.
Yo, you guys always hate on Vegas, and you hit it on it last time. I love going to Vegas for the fight. The reason being is that, one, there's so much more, I think, going on in Vegas than there are in other fights.
Have you been to Dallas? Have you been to Dallas?
I've never been to Dallas, but I've been in LA during. I've been to LA during fights. I've been to LA during fights. I've been to the Bay during fights. And I'll tell you this: when Vegas hosts a fight, Vegas is hosting a fight. To me, it seems as if other cities, it's just another fucking Saturday, except for those who care.
Steven, but with you coming from college, probably having some college student loan debt, maybe Vegas might be a little bit too pricey, because we know these tickets are going to be the priciest ticket of the year, if not a couple years.
Fuck it. I don't got the money for it. What do you want from me?
I'm just saying, you ain't going to be at that fight. But okay, we're going to get out to some alumni. And let's see if he's going to go to Vegas or Texas.
Mr. Info Joe.
This portion of the show we call In the Know, presented by my brother.
What up, Ness? What up, Matt? What up, Steven? Shout out to Munster. Great interview, man. Great questions. Congrats to you, Steven, man, getting that knowledge in college, man. You need to be commended for that, brother. And Ness, let me get a gunshot blast. Ness, gunshot blast. That's for the haters that's listening still, that hit the thumbs down. Hit those thumbs up, my people. Yo, far as the Canelo Triple G TBV appreciation night, of course, my choice would be LA.
It has a big Latino population here, or either have it at the Dodger Stadium or Staples Center, and plus the bud is abundant out here. My second choice would be New York City. I always had one of my dreams is to see a big fight at Madison Square Garden. Plus, I had one of the best times I ever had was in New York City. Love that city. My third choice would be Texas. I have a lot of family in Texas, so I could save on a room and stay with family if need be. But that would be my three choices. And far as Floyd coming back, without the circus, fighting Canelo. At this point, I think Floyd.
Hold on, Joe. Hold on, Joe.
What?
Hold on. Look at this shit, Matt. Look at this, Matt. You ready for this? Guess who's this? Guess who's this, Matt?
Oh, Chavez, what are you doing?
Breaking fucking news, Joe. Look at this.
Taking a picture, no nothing.
Yo.
Everybody.
Yo, Chavez going to be in the doghouse right now. Oh my Jesus. Put the women and children to bed.
Yo, you're gonna get me in the doghouse for watching this shit. You know my girl watches the show, bro. What the fuck?
Yo, Chavez has 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, it's like
5? Is there 5?
He's got like 7 beautiful women right now.
No,
yeah, I like that there's some that speak English. I like that there's some that speak English that shows that Chavez has made the effort to speak English.
Though this is like pornographic. How is the video still up? Jeez.
It's Facebook. They allow a lot of shit to fly on Facebook. Come on.
Oh, he's getting it in, right?
Dude, I mean, all that's missing is the blow, right?
Yo, who was that recording? That sounded like Info Joe. Where was Info Joe calling from?
He's gonna get fired. His girl's gonna fire him for sure. It's over, bro. Yo, he's obviously got excellent taste in women. We just have to admit that. No, I don't see not even one ugly girl. There's no ugly women in there at all. Oh, who was that? Damn.
Looked like Doomsday. Is Doomsday there? Doomsday?
Yo, let me find out Doomsday had to connect and shit.
I mean, text him like, yo, why didn't you text me?
I just got shout out to Eric Cruz in Texas, who sent us that breaking news. Jesus, Chavez, I guess he's not taking the loss too bad. This is a way to, console himself. He's feeling down, so surround himself with beautiful women.
Well, that's up to opinion if this is bad or not. Because isn't he married?
Right.
No, but it's typical crash and burn type of things. You need to surround yourself around people that are gonna say you are doing well, look good, all that. Hey, I'm telling you, bro. You guys think it's a joke? It's not a little deal that he lost to Canelo, bro. He wasn't supposed to lose.
None of this was a good sign. None of that was a good sign that he's with.
No, of course not.
Women in his room.
No, of course not. This is what I'm saying. This is part of that downward spiral.
Oh yeah. This is what we've been talking about on the show, being worried about happening.
This is what I said. He needs to be on watch after this fight. He can crash and burn right now. He's spiraling down. I mean, 7. Come on, look. I'm no one to say anything. I'm not supposed to. I hate to highlight his marital status, but it's obvious. So this doesn't look well. What could you chalk it up to? I mean, if I'm his girl, I chalk it up to, I know, Papi, you felt bad. He felt, look, what could he do, bro? He lost in front of the entire Mexican. How many 32 million they
what can you do if you're married? You cannot cheat on your wife.
Ness, you're an incredibly understanding woman. That's amazing.
I mean,
you're incredibly understanding.
I mean, you're Julio Cesar Chavez, and you're carrying,
your dad's not happy about this. If his dad sees this, he'll be like,
dude, there are memes.
Yo, did anybody catch what Chavez's dad said? That he was like, yo, weight is not an excuse. Like, I'm disappointed. It would have been better if he went out on a shield and got knocked out. You guys catch that?
Yeah, I saw that.
What about floating around of Chavez holding Canelo with both his hands, with his palms on Canelo's cheeks, and he's looking at him deeply.
Like he was the son he didn't get.
Yo, and then you know what it says? It says, the son I wish I had, bro. The memes are on fire. Check them out. They're on fire. But go ahead, Joe. We jacked you enough.
Oh man, let me finish my last point. If Floyd comes back, man, I would like him to fight at 147, Thurman, Spence, or Brooks, and put a prayer in the air for Chavez Jr. Man, that is a telltale sign. If you went into that room the next day, it'd probably be bottles and cocaine laid out everywhere, with holes laying all over him and everything. That's what it sounds like. You know what I'm saying? That's the way to medicate yourself, yeah, as they say. You know. But that's my call, brothers. Good show, man. Great interview too. Peace. Hit those thumbs up.
All right, brother. Man, this is that is messed up, man. I hope Chavez makes it out all right. We're gonna get to oh, sorry about that.
No, I'm taking a picture. No, not.
Yo, you know what's funny? The guy says, no, I'm not taking a picture, no nothing. Chavez probably don't even know his own man recorded him and put him out there. That's fucked up. Mr. Yes, sir, you're up.
Yes, into regarding that Chavez video, I don't think he's going your downward. Well, I think he is going a downward spiral. I go with that, but not for losing the fight. I think he was in on taking a money dive. I think maybe a downward spiral of the repercussions his name is getting from taking the dive. I think that's what's fucking with his guilt, maybe. You know, I don't think he's maybe expected to feel every lashing like, oh shit, I really fucked my name up, because that fight was bullshit. I think maybe he thought he was gonna do a better performance of doing a fix. It was horrible fix. And as far as Tyson Fury and Joshua, if they really did spar, I think that's one of the stupidest things Joshua could have done, because I always think Fury's just going to outclass the shit out of him in the ring. If he showed Fury any type of advantage in sparring, Fury's going to. I think Fury is an elite heavyweight. I think he's really good at boxing. I think anything he learned in sparring, he's really going to embarrass Joshua with. As far as Canelo Triple G and Oscar using this, I think it's Oscar doing another bullshit sell, using Mayweather's name, even if he's 40 years old, trying to call him out. And the whole time he was saying Mayweather fought Canelo when he was too young. But now he wants to fight Mayweather off a 2-year layoff when he's 40. That's bullshit. It's Oscar selling bullshit, fool's gold. Just like, I hate to say it, I think my boy Lara ruined Canelo's career. We're never going to find out how good he really is. One fight a year and a half off Kirkland, a small-ass aged-up Miguel Cotto, a small-ass Amir Khan, like you said, Liam Hoo Smith, and a ghost shell of fucking Chavez. Ever since Lara did that shit to him, fuck Canelo's up. Like I said, maybe it's not Canelo's fault. Maybe it's De La Hoya's scared of us losing his money. We're never going to see how good Canelo is. And like I said, I think it's just bullshit sell by Golden Boy Oscar. Like, hey, Mayweather, so buy more. This fight is going to be for fight Mayweather. You know, anyway, I bet you out in the press conference, he's somehow going to be saying Mayweather's name, you know, just to throw it out. This bullshit. Oh, and I got one other question. If I'm boomerang, do I have to hang back up and press fucking call? Can I just stay on the line?
Just unpress one and then press one again.
No, but wait. You unpress one. When you're ready, you press it again.
Yeah.
If you're immediately ready, then you press it one again. Because it highlights it highlights on our end, so the producer will see it. He's always paying attention, especially for that. But let me get to some other callers, Mr. C.
No problem.
Let me see here. Let's get to Brandon in Phoenix. Brandon in Phoenix.
Well, my name ain't Brandon, but I.
Damn. Producers.
Hello?
Yes, 480. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Yo, this Hakeem, man. I ain't called like a long time, a couple months.
Hakeem from where?
Or what's name? I was in Arizona. I graduated college at ASU, then moved out here to California.
Okay, all right, all right. So Hakeem from Arizona, shoot the producer. But what's going on, Hakeem? Talk to us.
Chilling. You know, I don't think Mayweather's gonna come back, man. I understand like the comparison between him and Larry Holmes is well, him and Muhammad Ali when he first Muhammad Ali fought Larry Holmes is a bit of a stretch because Muhammad Ali took way more damage. You know, he had issues with his hands and everything and his brain and whatnot. So it's not really the same thing, but it does show that, you know, at a fighter at that age, he will slow down. One of the biggest benefits Mayweather has as a fighter is his ability to be able to think fast and be able to move his hands fast. As you get older, you know, that's a declining trait, especially if you haven't been in the ring against someone really trying to go at your throat. And I think he has been on a decline. The one who fought Manny Pacquiao obviously was not the peak of Pacquiao or the peak of Floyd, but Floyd really showed a decline in the first Maidana fight. I understand, you know, his girl had got the abortion and whatnot, so wasn't in the right state of mind, but it definitely showed a decline in his ability to be able to really fight off a fighter of that caliber. So for him to come back after a 2-year layoff at approaching 40 years old, I mean, that's a bit of a stretch. I mean, I understand Floyd's got that Michael Jordan type mentality where everybody wants to have Michael Jordan come back and, oh, Michael Jordan can beat anybody. He's the best ever. You know, I mean, I understand, you know, the nostalgia, but I just don't see them coming back to win. It's just highly unlikely that he'll come back. And I just don't think the money's there. I mean, McGregor is a joke. He can come back. That's easy money. You know, that's an exhibition fight. It's easy money. But to go against a fighter in his prime, nah, that's not happening. I mean, you know, McGregor's no Drago. You know what I mean? This ain't going to be no Rocky situation. You know, McGregor will get his ass knocked out. So I just don't see that happening anytime soon.
Well, Hakeem, man, thank you for calling in, brother. We're going to make sure we get you down. Matt, Hakeem in Arizona. We're going to go out to Ishmael in Sacramento.
TBV, what's happening?
You tell us, brother.
Hey, just wanted to go over a couple of these topics today, man. The Mayweather thing. If Mayweather fight Canelo in May, that's gonna be 32-month layoff. Ain't he gonna be 41 years old? And Floyd not gonna have the A-side position anymore. Canelo has become almost an equivalent star, so Floyd ain't gonna be able to get that lopsided payday where he get 150 and another dude get 20 or 10 or something like that. Canelo gonna want like an equitable split, so I don't see that happening. I see Canelo getting a lot of extra props right now, and a lot of it's based on stuff that Floyd didn't get. For example, people say Floyd waited till people was past their prime, so they try to discredit some of his major victories. Well, Canelo fought Cotto at 35. Floyd was 36 and a half, and Triple G gonna be 35 and a half. Those are his three biggest fights, and all the dudes 35 and up. Then everybody talking about Cesar Chavez Sr. being upset with Cesar Chavez Jr. I see a lot of things in Chavez Sr. that people don't even mention, stuff that nobody can get away with nowadays. Like Floyd talking about fighting McGregor in his 50th fight. Well, Chavez Jr. fought somebody that was 1-15 in his 50th fight. Somebody that was 0-1 in his 66th fight. Somebody that was 4-3 in the 71st and 14-8 in the 89th fight. So I just think it's a lot of bias on Floyd, a lot of extra credit to Canelo for no reason. And I like the Shafikov and Robert Easter Jr. fight, especially since if Easter Jr. beat Shafikov, it looked like it'd be a unification bout with Mikey. So that's my call. I think the Shafikov fight will lead up to some special things, especially with Mikey having a little string attached to Heyman at this point in time. Great interview with Loeffler. One thing I did want to know is if Golden Boy pulled that trick they be pulling and getting options on the fighter after the big fight that they have under Golden Boy Promotions, like they did with Bert Schelt and other people like that. I wonder if they still gonna be able to milk something out of Triple G if he beat Canelo.
Well, yeah, they have an instant rematch clause.
Yeah, only for Canelo, though. But thanks for calling in, Ishmael. Calls are always great. We're going to go out to the UK to Coach Mitty. Coach, is this one going to get you out? We had Lawfer on. He's saying New Orleans is even an option. But what's it going to take? Is Texas the location for you, or are you a Vegas guy?
Hey, how you doing? It doesn't really matter where it's gonna be. I'm gonna be there anyway, whether it's like Texas or Vegas. I'm gonna do everything I can to get there because I'm excited about the fight. Right? So I would like it to be Texas because I've never been there, and I hear that it's like a big stadium fight. But if it's Vegas, I'll go there. I told you before. I think I don't really like Vegas because I don't gamble, but when there's a big fight, there's something I'm interested in. I'll just make my way there. That's all. Apart from that, I don't really have much to say. I'm just listening, and thanks for putting a show as usual.
All right, brother. We're gonna stay out here. We're gonna go to Giant Joe.
Nope. Sorry, Joe. We have Mr. Yes Sir back on the boomerang. If you don't know what boomerang is, go to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice, and you're gonna find out everything you need to know about such perks like the boomerang status. Mr. Yes Sir, you are back.
Yes, sir. I got the boomerang because I love boxing. I'm gonna continue to talk because I never answered the question. I think it's a dumbass shit if Mayweather does come back. I don't like the idea of the fight. It's just seeing a 40-year-old Mayweather come back after 2 years. It's not him. It's not going to be him, especially against these two, I guess right now legends in their active prime. It's not fair. He said 100 million for McGregor. He's gonna throw out some stupid shit like 150 or 200 to fight these guys, knowing this guy. And I think as far as where I would like to see that Canelo Golovkin fight, there's two fights as a boxing fan I would like to see, like maybe try and expand boxing. And this is one of the fights. I think this is a big fight. And Wilder and Joshua. I would like to see either one of those two fights, maybe in another country like Japan or Jamaica, like one of those type of big ass boxing fights where we travel to the world, like I guess Ali used to do. He'll go fight in some random ass country, and I think Canelo Golovkin and maybe Joshua Wilder at this moment in time is the only two possible fights we have with something of that possibility. That's my call for the boomerang. Late.
All right, Mr. Yes, Sir. Giant Joe, I believe he's in Scotland. We're going to go to you, my friend, right after our ringer.
Popping all this champagne, popping all this rosé, getting money like Jose, chain cold, Norway, shorty wants that foreplay, I'm like, no way, gotta rock like Coldplay, killing it, OJ, getting cheese like Green Bay, call me Aaron Rodgers.
Yo, guys, what's going on? A lot of interesting topics today on the show. I wanted to touch on one specifically. The one about Tyson Fury, man. When Tyson Fury was being asked about Anthony Joshua, you got to remember that's when his countryman was about to go to the Olympics. So of course he's going to big him up. Let me give you an example. It's the same thing if I step into the ring and I start sparring with Maddie. I could probably hit him around from pillar to post. But of course, if people ask me, I'm going to say, yeah, that's my boy. He's going to do well. He's a beast. Just because I say it doesn't mean I mean it, right? So I think that's an example of perhaps, not everything you say is what it is, right? Of course, Maddie's going to control that. Anyway, on to the next subject. I think for location for the fight of Canelo Triple G, I think Azteca Stadium would be the dream scenario, man. Could you guys imagine that? Mexico City, 120,000 people watching that fight. That would be crazy, man. That would be amazing, right? But obviously that won't happen. I think it's basically probably going to come down to Vegas. I know you guys say you don't like Vegas, but if the seats are priced, somewhat reasonable, then it's amazing. What Steven said is true, man. Vegas.
Yeah,
what's
reasonable to you? What's reasonable to you?
Oh man, to be honest, this is the truth, and this is what's shitty. But the best or the best price seat in the house is probably going to be about $600 or $700, man, which is a shame. It's a crime, but that's what it's going to cost to get in to watch Canelo Triple G, man. So I mean, it's going to be pricey as fuck.
I would not pay that as a fight fan.
It is what it is, guys. I know, man, but it's one of those things. At some point, it's a once in a lifetime thing. Is it worth it or not? I don't know. If you can, you have 3 months to save up the money. That's why when Loeffler said, "Yeah, we'll decide about the location," it's like, yo, dude, you don't have time to decide. Like as fight fans, it's already going to cost a fortune we got to save as much money as possible by booking ahead of time, right? So I mean, but sometimes these promoters, these A sides, they don't understand that, giving people, enough information about locations and dates, how important it could be, right? These divas, they control those things, so we don't have any say as the people, right? So, that's my opinion on that. So I hope they tell us right away. And if it's Vegas, what other option do we have, man?
The thing is that usually the person issuing the challenge understands the position that they're in, and the challenge that they issue is a complete package.
No, that's true. I guess. Well, we'll see that. All of it will come to light soon. But, having said that, worst case scenario, we're always going to be together there in the fight, right? We're going to be there in Vegas. If they do right and treat the fans right and make the tickets, price so that it's
in Vegas.
Yo, if it's Vegas,
come on, what are you thinking about, Jose?
Jose, if it's Vegas, I'm doing TBV closed circuit. Who the hell's gonna pay? I mean, look, I don't have to pay. Obviously I can go, but I would rather be with my friends right on this night, and do the immediate reaction show. But yeah, if I was not credentialed, you're kidding me. I'm not paying $600 to watch them. I'd rather watch it on TV.
Well, what's the least you would pay, or what's the most you'd pay for a shitty seat? $300, $400?
No. If that's like the nosebleeds, and that's the cheapest, is $300.
I pay $50 for nosebleeds.
Way overpriced. Yeah, $50.
Nosebleeds.
$50. Yes, easily. That's what it should be.
Yeah, you know what these guys do, man? They hold on to the nosebleeds. They don't sell the nosebleeds. They give the nosebleeds to their ticket brokers. That's how they take care of them, right? They give them to the ticket brokers. Those nosebleeds are going to sell for 2 to 3 times what they're worth, and then, the reality is to watch it in a half.
I got 5 tickets for Thurman Garcia for $50 on the nosebleeds. $57. Sorry, it's $57 each.
You like those?
I didn't sit in them because I had Alex from Australia give me another seat that was nicer.
Did you go up there and at least check it?
I did not check it, but Info Joe was on it, so we can go back to Info Joe and ask.
Oh boy, out Info Joe, that's fucked up. I remember when Info Joe was in the nosebleeds for Andre Ward. I went and got him, like, yo, come on, Joe, man. Come with me, Joe. Gonna bring you down to the VIP section. Be a part of this immediate reaction. You know what I mean? This Canelo fight is not good.
Is hopefully Canelo, who's the fake A side, I might mention, the fake A side with a loss on his record. Hopefully he's not making demands for weight and begging
it's at 160
a certain weight, because weight or not, well, you know what? Sometimes it doesn't matter, man. If you have that L, it doesn't matter what weight you ask for. You're still gonna.
Well, that's not true. The A side always dictates weight. A side always dictates weight. So I don't know what world you come in.
But it's not gonna make.
You got a crash course lesson of that today, Jose. Come on.
All right, boys. I love it, man. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
All right. Let's get out to Giant Joe, I believe in Scotland. Talk to us.
Hey, Nez.
What up?
Yeah, it's England, mate. England, not Scotland.
Shit. Sorry, brother.
It's all right, man. I'm no MV Chew. Shout out to MV Chew. So Floyd coming back. Now, I think Floyd should stay gone. Floyd is a legend. Floyd is an exceptional businessman, and his hit or beat and not be hit style is, minimize risk. And the older he gets, the bigger the risk is going to be. So he's going to have to come back only for a mega payday. I mean, he said it himself, 9-figure payday is what he will come back for. So who is that 9-figure payday? And I think the wind has changed, after Joshua and Klitschko, and probably more so after Triple G and Canelo, the wind has changed. People are going to see fights. And the way Floyd has fought is that back foot, slickster style. And I think the wind has changed in a different direction. Joshua said something post-fight in the ring. He alluded to the fact that you turn up to fight and take that risk. So, I think we're moving away from that era. So 2 years gone, maybe that's it. Maybe, Floyd should stay gone.
Well, all right, Giant Joe, thanks for calling in the UK. We're going to go out to West. Yes.
We got a ringer. I'm sorry, Muhammad. I'm sorry, but this ringer's been on hold for a bit. I have just seen him, so I think we need to go to him. Dempsey, how you doing, brother?
What up, guys? Doing good, doing good. Just trying to catch up some of the topics here. Been kind of been on and off a little bit with listening to the show. I got a couple of the interviews earlier, then I had to sign off a little bit, then I signed back on. I've been hearing some people talk about Mayweather coming back, whether they feel that he should or they shouldn't. Me personally, no, I'll admit I am a Mayweather fan, and I really did enjoy watching him fight during his time, but I feel that it's probably best that if he stays retired, and I really don't give a shit about this fucking McGregor fight. Matter of fact, McGregor fight ain't even a fight. It's a fucking expedition, man. And if people are going to pay fucking X amount of money for an exhibition like they did Canelo and Chavez, they're fucking wasting their fucking time. You got a lot of morons out there that'll fucking believe that shit. Hey, McGregor knocked him out. Hey, fucking bullshit, man. And I honestly, if Mayweather does happen to go that route, I'm not supporting it. I'm not watching it because I already know what's going to happen. And, I'll just let everybody talk about it later afterwards. I have no interest in that at all. And, G, I don't know why. I mean, shoot, I hope it happens in Texas. I really, really do. I really do. Because that stadium, AT&T Stadium, that speaks a lot of people. But I have a funny feeling that it's going to be in Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. I mean, why else did they allow that announcement to happen at the arena? And you already got hotel prices looking like they're in the high price range right now in Vegas for that weekend. So, but the only thing that gets me about that sometimes is that when Mayweather Pacquiao was announced in the past, or would think about being announced in the past when it wasn't official, there was a few times when hotel prices would hike up the prices on those particular weekends, but the fight would not happen. So that's the only thing that I do keep in mind about is that, yeah, the hotel prices are up, but there's still a possibility that the fight might happen in Vegas. Oh, I'm sorry, in Texas, which I hope it does. But, if it happens in Vegas, I mean, it is what it is. And, you guys are right. They're going to have those ticket prices at a higher price. It's going to be very hard for the blue-collar worker boxing fan that would like to go and attend the fight to attend it. They would have to catch a close-circuit viewing that'll cost anywhere between $50 and $100 just to catch one of those. I've done it before. It's a cool experience, but being at the fight is that much better. It is, just coming from a fan who has experienced it themselves. As far as the other topics, I'm kind of lost in those, but I mean, that's my 2 cents. Unless you guys got some questions, that's my call.
Dempsey, which state is going to get you to travel?
Well, you know what? That's a good question. For me, because I live in LA, it is easier to travel to Vegas. It is. But that doesn't mean I'm not willing to travel to Texas. Because I've traveled to New York from Madison Square Garden, Coto Martinez, and it was worth it. I am the kind of fan that will save my money and get a hotel room and get a plane ticket and go to Texas if I have to. And I'll take my chick, too. That's a trip that would be great. It would be great.
All right, Dempsey, man. Thanks for calling in. Obviously, we always appreciate your support and your patronage around here. We want to thank you. We're going to get out to Muhammad in West Africa. Muhammad, same question for you, brother. What city and state is going to get you to come out all the way from West Africa to watch this fight with Triple G and Canelo?
That's an easy question. That's a very easy question. It has to be Vegas, man, because I'm going to be coming with the wife. And, we love Vegas. So, but the only problem is them tickets going to be very expensive. I went to the Canelo Con last year, and we were like upper level, and I paid $600 a piece. So imagine how much it's going to be. It's going to be like double that at least with, Triple G. But hopefully they will. I think the fight is going to happen in Vegas, no doubt about it. Forget about AT&T Stadium. Then casino are not going to let that fight slip, because you have the gambling, which, the site fee I heard is going to be like 10 million at least, to have the fight take place, to have the MGM as the host casino. So 10 million, the gate is going to be more than AT&T because it's going to be jacked. The price is going to be too high. And then, you have the whole, Vegas, the economy. They're not going to let it go to AT&T. just Oscar is saying that to please the fans, talking about he's thinking about it, blah, blah, blah. But it's not going to happen like that. You know who's going to be on the undercard? I'm going to give you an exclusive right now. Hello?
Rigondeaux?
No, man, it's going to be me versus my brother, Eric Cruz. I already called him, man. We got this thing done. We have to talk to you, make it happen, man. He's going for Triple G, and I'm a Canelo fan, so, we have our little beef. Even though I like him, man.
Who?
I like Eric Cruz. I like Eric Cruz. You know Eric.
Oh, man, you can't go against Eric, bro.
No, man, I'm working out. Don't worry about it, man. I got skills. Don't worry about it. I'm going to have one of my Jamaican friends give me some voodoo stuff, in the fight.
Tell your Jamaican, tell your Jamaican friends to give me some of that voodoo stuff when I'm out there, baby. If you know what I'm saying.
No, man. No, I don't want you being mad at me and stuff, But let me ask you this, Ness. Are you going to do an appreciation party for the fight?
I mean, by the end of the week, we'll have an RSVP page up. If we get the right amount, we know that the people want it. Because the problem is, where is it going to happen, right? I mean, we had Lawfer on today. He's saying we might get an announcement. We might not know. He basically let us know the city tours, though, Matt. He said LA. He said international, which means they're going to the UK and Mexico.
What doesn't mean, does not mean UK. I don't know where you got that from.
He made that clear. Go back.
Did he ever say the words UK? I didn't hear that.
Mm-hmm.
He did? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I heard him say international. I just assumed Mexico City, obviously.
No.
Listen, the fight is going to be at T-Mobile. You can put that in the bank. I'm telling you.
Well, Muhammad, we don't want to be party poopers like you. Listen, the only reason I don't care about Vegas is because I'll get a badass mansion with a dope-ass pool. Hopefully it's still hot in Vegas in September, but I'm not going to the fight. Listen, I want to address Hands of Stone's comment. He's saying, man, you guys have a few months to save up $600. Be financially responsible. Till then, stop drinking, buying expensive beverages, and perhaps cut back on eating out as well. Why sacrifice all that shit to sit in?
We don't need to sacrifice all that because we don't even do that. I mean, come on.
No. I'm speaking for the general fan, not just for myself. Why would a general fan sacrifice all of that plus pay $50? Those tickets are $50 tickets, inflated to $600. Why? That is being financially irresponsible, believe me. But I hear there's people out there that's nostalgic and stuff, and maybe to me it doesn't matter because this is my line of work, and I don't, it's not a big deal as it is to you guys, but yeah, I would rather watch that shit from home. I'm just keeping it G.
If you know like I know, you should lie low. I used to get it in Ohio.
Yeah, Boxing Voice, man. Another great show, man. I love the topic, man. And Ness, man, I've been rocking with you for the last, I'd probably say 5-6 shows, man. Been rocking with you for the past 5-6 shows, man. You've been on point. And man, you need to take a Uzi to your own head, man. You should have a sound effect for a Uzi, man. Yo, you pumping up this Mayweather game or this Mayweather fight as if it's relevant, as if this Mayweather Canelo thing is even really, I mean, Oscar De La Hoya, the only one I can think of is douchebag. This is the same guy who said, I gave Victor Ortiz and I gave Canelo the blueprint to beat Mayweather, but didn't even come close to beating Mayweather himself. It's the same douchebag who said the fight game will be better off with Mayweather out of it. And, oh, we forgot all your fights already. Man, it's the same douchebag who fought Trinidad, was up the first 6 rounds, didn't throw a punch the second 6 rounds to try to run around, and end up losing the damn fight. I mean, we can't listen to Oscar De La Hoya when he's speaking and doing interviews and hang on this every word, because the dude, he doesn't have a good track record, man. He says shit for attention, and this Canelo Mayweather fight, it's not even, there's really no reason for Mayweather to do it. And again, I mean, the reason why I was really mad at you, Ness, because you of all people said Pacquiao deserves the Jeff Horn fight. He deserves that.
So Mayweather deserves to make the McGregor fight and just to chill. He should be fighting no young bull at 26. You know what I mean? It doesn't make no sense, man. Yeah, I'm just speaking facts, though.
Great point. Great point. And if Ness ever said that Manny Pacquiao deserved the Jeff Horn fight, I just want to say that it does not represent the views of the Boxing Voice, because that's some bullshit views and opinions.
Oh, he said it. He said it.
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
I'm just saying, I don't remember saying that, but if I said it, I don't know. Me and my girl probably were in a happy mood. Jay Will, man, thank you for calling in, my friend. Hey, you didn't answer the question, man. Is Texas or LA? What's gonna? I mean, Texas or Vegas are either gonna get you out, or is this a TV fight for you?
Oh man, this is definitely Texas, man. Texas will make it that much better, man. I mean, the Latino community down there, the Mexican community down there. Just the size of that venue, man. I've been in that stadium before, man. It's ridiculous, man. So the fight inside that venue would be a party itself.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. I guess Texas will get him out. We're going to go to the 316. First time calling, 316-755.
He dropped.
Well, was that Loeffler? Let's see. Going out to some alumni then, you know, they don't drop. Actually, let's get to Josh. He's been in and out on Skype. Josh, what's going on? You working?
Yeah, man, I'm out here working right now.
What's going on, brother? Talk to us.
Yeah, man, I got to agree with Muhammad, man. I think this fight's going to go to Vegas because of the odds right now with Canelo. It's like everyone's going to go out to play some bets, you know. That's why, I mean, I would love for it to be in Texas. I've never been to Texas, so that'd be cool because then I could go for the first time. And that's a nice-ass stadium, too. So, but, yeah, I just think, like, Vegas, they're just probably going to, like, pay, like, money, you know, to have the fight there at the T-Mobile.
Well, all right, Josh. Let's see, man. Damn, Matt, could this be true? Are we really gonna have to fucking go to Vegas, bro? Like, that's it's not what I want, man.
I hate Vegas.
Fucking Vegas. I mean, to be honest, as long as it's hot, I don't care because I already have it made up in my mind. I'm not buying a ticket, so I'm gonna be in a badass mansion. So as long as it's hot, it's okay. We get the pool, and you know, we get the chill. Get the chillax. We'll do it. We'll make sure we have an appreciation night on that Friday, and then Saturday we'll have a private, intimate fight viewing. Why not? And do it a live immediate reaction show right from the fucking building. You know what I'm saying? Get it going. Good. We're gonna go out from. Where were we? We were in Ohio, going out to the ATL.
I told y'all a long time ago. Kirkland will go down in 3 rounds.
Right hand, down goes Kirkland. Strap me up. Next, I got milk, baby.
Yo, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right, so first of all, as far as Oscar talking about Floyd should fight GGG or Canelo, look, man, let Floyd give us an entertaining event. He's giving the sport a hell of a lot. Even Muhammad Ali had a weird-ass semi-MMA fight with a damn sumo wrestler. So at this point, he has earned the right to give us just something fun to watch, man. You know, something that doesn't necessarily add to his legacy. Just let him do it, all right? Now let's talk about numbers with Canelo and GGG. Let's play devil's advocate. Because, you know, I really dig Oscar's ambition to get, you know, 80, 90,000 people in one place to see this fight. But just to put it into perspective, let's look at Manny Pacquiao. All right. He did 50,000 when he beat Clyde Now, prior to that, let's look at Pac's record. He crushed De La Hoya. He crushed Hatton. He crushed Cotto. This was at the height of this was like his meteoric rise, right? This was Pacquiao at his best, and he did 50,000 with Claudia in Texas. Can Triple G Canelo really do 70, 80, 90,000 in the States? Can it? That's my question for y'all. I'm out.
Man, I don't know what it does, but I say this, Matt. Who'd he fight? Liam Smith? Even Austin Trout. What? Wasn't Austin Trout in Texas?
Yes, it was.
And that did like 40.
Mm-hmm.
And then Liam Smith did what, 50?
Yep.
Yeah. I think priced right too. You know, if they keep that $10 rate, they had $10 tickets for one of those two fights. Hell yeah, they'll be able to sell it out, man.
They could do 100,000, in my personal opinion.
I think even if they do $100, cheapest ticket, they'll get it off.
Yeah, like a 70,000 easily. If it's like 50, maybe even like $25 for the cheapest seats, and you're trying to do 100,000 people in that stadium,
now Oscar
you can do it. You can definitely do it.
Oscar does have a history of doing $25 tickets. Let's hope that they do that. That was a big PBC thing too, $25 tickets. Gabe in Salt Lake, talk to us.
Yo, how's it going, TBV? Man, I want to start off with slow week in boxing, but doesn't matter. TBV is here to entertain us. Thank you guys. Hit that thumbs up. Go drop a review on iTunes and buy them a cup of coffee on Patreon, man. These guys are the hardest workers in the podcast game, keeping us entertained day in and day out. So let's get to the topics now. Canelo, I don't think he really needs Mayweather. If he wins a Triple G fight and it does $2 million, Chavez, it looks like it's going to be more than $1 million. De La Hoya came out today and said it's going to be more than $1 million. I'm thinking, like I said the other day, 1.3, maybe 1.5. And if you go back to their last kind of nobody fights that Canelo and Mayweather fought, let me ask you guys this. Who's a bigger name in the States, Liam Smith or Andre Berto?
Berto.
Easily Berto.
Of course, and they did about the same numbers, right? Wasn't it around 300 for each of those pay-per-views?
3 and 5. I think the Berto did like 5.
It is 440, I believe.
Yo, Matt's gonna always go against anything.
Well,
I just know the numbers. That's all.
Terrible, you know. So I don't think Canelo. I think the Triple G fight's gonna blow it out. The stadium I would love to see it at is actually Dodger Stadium because Triple G's already built up a big fan base up there, selling out the StubHub like every time he's out there. They have the Mexican for Golovkin shirts going out in LA right now. It's a big thing. And Canelo's Mexican, so that demographic, of course, I don't think it's going to be in Vegas like everyone's been saying. None of these other sites can compare with the casino that's backing up Vegas. Also, after this fight, I know you guys are saying Anthony Joshua is the next big thing. I actually want Mayweather just to stay retired because we do have two boxers right now that are carrying the sport, and they're just doing great. And we have a lot of up-and-coming guys. And if Mayweather were to come back, I would want him to fight Crawford. That's just a dream matchup. I think that would be a fun matchup to really see skill-wise. And, yeah, Anthony Joshua is not going to fight Fury next. He should probably fight, I don't know. I think he's going to have to fight Ortiz. I would love to see that fight. And I think it's funny, all the UK fans, they always want to get on Canelo, but they're giving AJ a pass on the Ortiz fight. I just call bullshit on that. And that's it, guys. Keep it up. Thanks.
Gabe, thanks for calling in, brother. Matt, man, so the casinos are the machine, huh?
Well, I mean, we've heard for a very long time, and we don't know on paper if this is true, but we've always heard that MGM, T-Mobile, that they actually pay fighters to come out there, that they offer incentive financially for these boxers to hold big fights there. And we just don't have a record of MSG doing that. We don't have a record of Dodger Stadium or StubHub or even Dallas. You know, the list can go on and on and on of stadiums that we just don't have that record of.
Well, the MGM,
there is their reputation.
Didn't the MGM buy Mayweather like a Bugatti? So he we have Mayweather Pacquiao there. I mean, they gave him a car. I don't know what they.
Yes.
I don't know the reasons they used, but shortly after we got the Mayweather Pacquiao fight there.
And plus, I mean, with Mayweather, he was so intertwined with the business of Vegas that I'm not going to say he's an anomaly, because obviously Vegas has such a control and stranglehold over the sport, especially in America. But Floyd ran that town, and he was able to sap every ounce of money out of the casinos, out of the promoter,
bro.
Everyone.
He even got money out of the concessions, bro. Yeah. That was insane. Listen, let's go across the country here. Let's find out what it's going to take for our good friend Alex to come from Australia to see Triple G and Canelo.
But no one can stop me, really. Oh, there's a king croc right there. This croc has enough power in its jaws to whip my ass right off. Unique in the 6th round, in the 7th round. You're gonna be the legend to become a legend. Honestly, these are unbeatable. You're gonna be the legend to become a legend.
Alex, what's going on, brother?
Same old, just going through life. But what was your question, sorry, Ness? What it'll take for me to what? Get down there?
Yeah, what would it take? What fight? Like, what stadium? Is it Vegas? Is it Dallas? Does it matter? Is this fight big enough for you to travel? But, does the stadium matter?
Look, I'll tell you what. Stadium doesn't matter. As long as there's a TBV appreciation night, I'm there. I mean, after that last one, if you're a fan of boxing, if you're a fan of TBV, just do yourself a favor. Get down there ASAP. But, look, I have to wrap this up now quick. But, good show. Thanks for the interview, boys. Thumbs up, everyone, and good luck to you. I'll speak to you soon.
All right. Wow, short and sweet, man. We're gonna go out to El Toro in Indiana.
Hey, what's going on, guys? What's up, fellas?
What's up?
Hey, I'm gonna keep it short. Congratulations. Good show, man. Top Loeffler. Man, great show. Good interview. I just want to say, if Canelo gets past Golovkin, man, that Floyd fight would be huge, man. It would be huge, bigger than the first one. And don't count Floyd out. Because remember, Hopkins, he beat De La Hoya at age 40. And he beat Tito Trinidad when Tito Trinidad was a killer at age 36. So don't call out old man Floyd. As far as the TBV party, it don't matter. Because me and my girl, we already got the weekend off. We're going to be chilling with y'all, man. That's my call. Good show.
Sweet. We're going to get to meet El Toro in Indiana. Let's see. What do we got here? We got Marcus in D.C. What's going on? What's it going to take, brother? What stadium is it going to take to get Marcus out?
Speaker. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me? Oh, yeah, what's good, Boxing Voice, man? Yo, this was happening, man. Hey, check this out, man. The fight nurse is tripping, man. Listen. Triple G was trying to fight Chavez at 168, and Ward said, man, what you doing in my neighborhood not knocking on my door? So Ward insisted, like, yo, man, if you coming up here, why you not fighting me? Fight me first. So Triple G was like, yo, if you want me to fight you first and don't take warm-ups, then let's do it at 164. Then Ward said no. Now, look at Ward. Ward fought Bryan and Barrera. If Kovalev had said, no, you got to fight me first, it would have been fair for Ward to say, well, let's do it at 171. It would have been fair. Okay, that's negotiation. Number two, man, listen, if we want the casual fans to get into this and pay them their money so they can fight, it has to be a spectacle. It has to be at the stadium. Shout out to my man Info Joe and the other dude that came through and say, man, I think that fight would be great at Dodger Stadium. It needs to be outdoor. It needs to be where it's warm. We need to see the, you know what I'm saying, that the heat affects people and all that stuff. Man, I think that would be great. Cowboy Stadium would be great, too, because they can retract the dome. I think when Vegas has a fight at 20,000, there's a limit on the amount that you can have the tickets being if you want to clear the gate. And the scalpers will kill even the nosebleed. So you got to have it somewhere like that or Cowboy Stadium where you can have somebody coming in for like $28 and the fighters still see their money.
90 seconds.
40,000, 28, 29,000 at Dodger Stadium. I'm cool with that too, man. As far as Oscar talking about Floyd, listen, he got to mention Floyd. I doubt Floyd would ever fight Canelo again because Canelo is so much bigger than he was when he fought met Floyd the first time. I do think he might fight Golovkin because I think in the Golovkin and Jacobs fight, we did actually see that, man, Triple G probably, if he wanted to, if he wasn't 35, could make
60 seconds.
60. So, I mean, I think he would try his hand with Golovkin. I don't know if he'd try his hand with Canelo again. Canelo is, you know, he came into most of his fights that he came in at 54, 55, weighing 173 or 175. I think he's just a little bit too big for Mayweather now. Mayweather knows it. What somebody said about Bernard having fights when he was a little older, the difference is this: Bernard always slowed the fight down, and it was never about Bernard's wheels is what made Bernard successful. So Bernard could fight later in his years because the dudes who wasn't about their wheels or speed, they can fight later and longer. The dudes where it was about speed and foot speed, those dudes, when that went, they turned into mediocre dudes that got crushed, man. That's my call. Shout out from DC Boxing Voice. Y'all get it in always, man. Ow! I'm out.
10 seconds.
Marcus, thank you as always. Let's get out to man keeping that IG popping. I'm talking about we had 21,000 now because of this guy. I mean, best thing to happen of TB.
I told y'all alone.
Not you, Milkman, but you are part of it too.
But no one can stop me.
Not that one either. Get out of here, Alex.
The other Alex.
I won't deny it.
Gennady Golovkin production.
Come with me. Hail Mary, run quick speed. What do we have here now? ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Gennady Golovkin Productions.
Loving the show, man. What's going on, fellas? Loving
What
the show.
up, Alex?
What's going on, man? That's Matt. Hey, man, I want the Mayweather fight. I want him to fight the winner. I mean, Mayweather Canelo, man, that'd be huge. I mean, even if Canelo beats Triple G, Mayweather's still the A side. And I mean, that's the fight, man. That's the fight that's gonna bring them all out, man. I mean, we're talking about Triple G Canelo doing $2 million. Shit, that one's gonna pass that. And then everyone that's against it, saying Mayweather's old or Canelo's young, Klitschko and Joshua just were in the fight of the decade or the century. People have been saying, and it was, and I agree. But Klitschko was 41 years old, and Joshua was what, 27? I mean, so what's the difference? I mean, Mayweather is in shape, stays in shape, and we could have the same kind of a mega fight with the same kind of production. You know what I mean? It's great performances. And then the Triple G Canelo, if that's just in Vegas, I'm there 100% in Vegas. TBV party, my first one. And then Dallas, I'll try. I'll definitely try. But Vegas is a lot easier. And I've already checked the rooms at the MGM, man. They're going for $500 a night right now, and that kind of might say something about where the fight's going to be at, huh? And then the last thing I had for you was a question. Have you seen this video of Chavez Jr. in his hotel room with all the chicks after the fight, after the loss?
I mean, have you seen the best boxing podcast known to man and earth?
TVD.
All right. Well, we already played that live on the show, man. You might as well go to YouTube and check it out. Sometime during the show, we played it, man. We got breaking news coming all day, every day.
All day. Almost missed that part. Hey, great show, man. Great show. And you agree with me about the Klitschko, right? How Klitschko, Joshua? And so we could have the same thing with Mayweather, Canelo?
No, I was in another world. What do you mean?
Well, I was saying how people are against the fight, against Mayweather coming back to fight Canelo because they're saying he's old. But yet Klitschko was 41. He's 41 right now, and he just was in the fight of the century with Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a heavyweight division.
Only Matt would disagree because I don't know, he has a thing for Floyd.
The heavyweight division has a on average older top 10 than other divisions. That's why. You can be a much older man in the heavyweight division and be elite because the skills are lesser than in the 147-pound division.
Mm-hmm. All I know is you seem to be changing tunes when it comes to Floyd Mayweather. You don't want to see him back. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't want to see him back. I'll be honest about that.
Matt doesn't want him back. Matt doesn't.
I don't want him back.
He's the face of boxing.
No, listen. There was a time. There was a time when
you can be the face of boxing, but just don't fight.
There was a time when I used to say the same thing, like, "Yo, I don't want to see, hurry up and go," things like that, because, I'm just like, he was holding things up, but this
he still is. Look at him. He still is. Like, he's not doing anything. He's all talk.
Nah, that's a big.
Even with the McGregor fight, he's all talk. Nothing's really been set in stone. Nothing's been official. He's all bluster. He's all PR moves. That's all Mayweather is at this point.
No. Hey, he was only holding up one person, and that was Khan.
Yeah,
Khan was waiting for that.
Well, yeah, but Khan was waiting
for 6 years.
Big.
For 6 years. Come on.
Khan was waiting for anyone big. But listen, Alex, we're gonna go ahead and cut out. It is that time. That time of day, that time of night. It is time to say goodbye.
But hold on, if not you, but everyone calling, everyone that's on the line in Blog Talk, we're gonna do TBV Overtime again, our new show on Patreon. And after this episode, we will no longer be allowing Blog Talk calls into TBV Overtime, because it's sort of a free way to get the show live. Even though you don't get on the replay, you get it live. That's really only for Patreon users. So this is the last time we're going to do it. Going forward into the future, on Sunday when we do TBV Overtime, that will be only on Skype calls. Obviously on YouTube, on Patreon, you can be able to watch it. But for all you guys on Blog Talk right now calling in, that press 1, stay on the line. We're going to take your calls for TBV Overtime.
Yes. So Matthew, final thoughts on this whole thing.
I hope to God that this fight is in Dallas, because one, I thought Dallas was kind of a fun town. I thought it was a nice, pretty town. It was very beautiful.
We didn't even get to paint it red yet.
No, we didn't. We took it very easy on that trip, and I know me and Al will have a good time over there, so that should be some fun. Plus, it's just a TBV party. I want it to be affordable. I want everyone that can be able to go. If it's in Vegas, I know because of price, because of financial circumstances, some people will not be able to go, and that would be unfortunate for our listeners and our callers. So I hope it's in Dallas. I hope that Floyd Mayweather never comes back and fights. I hope he does his thing as a promoter, which is
so rude,
which he's doing an awesome job of, in my opinion. Be a promoter. Don't be a fighter anymore. You're retired. And Shafikov, Robert Easter Jr., an amazing fight that will go under the radar, but is a potential fight of the year. What's some other topics? That's pretty much it that I care about. I mean, Better Beef, I hope he fights again soon, but this lawsuit, there's a lot of things going on, so I don't know about it. And very quickly, you can obviously find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram, and my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radio. It's on Patreon, SoundCloud, iTunes, etc. We're doing a show tomorrow, hopefully. And at this point, I've been waiting for Alex Doomsday Lions to get his shit together and be his co-host with me.
You know what team Wilder calls Alex, right?
Doomsday?
No, Alex Lion Ass.
Lion. So I'm doing the show tomorrow on UFC 211 with or without Alex, just to give everyone a heads up. Peace.
UFC 11. Sounds like a waste of time.
211. Actually, a really good card.
Sounds like a waste
It's actually in Dallas, to have a stitch back to what we've been talking about this whole show. It's in Dallas right now.
If you want to waste your time, listen to MMA. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, and due to the TBV appreciation night that I want to have so that I can meet more of our wonderful listeners, I am going to follow this fight no matter where it goes, but I prefer Texas, and I prefer, where could they take this? Mexico, Cancun, put it in Riviera Maya somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Take me to the beach, baby. Make it a vacation for me. You know what I'm saying? Listen, don't forget to head on over to Patreon, because we're going to be doing TBV Overtime, where we talk a little bit of boxing. We continue to go, obviously, with the theme of boxing, but we might branch off other ways and other topics, and we allow you to do the same thing as well. Really quick, I want to remind you guys that because you're a TBV listener, you can head on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com and collect your absolutely free TBV collection charm here, both boxing charms. I mean, they got all types of things here, and all you got to do is pay the delivery fee, the shipping and handling, get it absolutely free. You can get the mini boxing gloves, or you can get the dual boxing gloves. They even have them black, gold, silver. I mean, you can look like you're Matt and you actually want to fight and went to the amateurs. I don't know. You could be a golden gloves type of guy. It's really up to you. I don't know. But remember that it's absolutely free for being a TBV listener. You only pay the shipping, and it's definitely a way to support your favorite show. But don't forget, you can also support the show by heading on over to iTunes and dropping us a 5-star review, because it helps tremendously with the visibility of the show. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO, and definitely support us on Patreon and stay up to date, because we're going to have some very exciting news coming straight out of Patreon here in the next couple of days. Some big things happening, and some big thing happening for the Patreon family, man. Some of you guys will be able to get into the TBV Appreciation Night absolutely free. So head on over there for more info. Peace.